Okay, testing. Do we got audio? Looks like we do. Move the microphone a little bit. Now if I click on the game. Okay. So it's a bit weird. Like I have a bit of a filter for, filtering out quiet noises and the like. But it's like I guess anything that's tapping on the desk or movement, it gets picked up by the microphone no matter what I do, and I wish it didn't. Oh, I shouldn't worry too much about it. I just try to not fidget or slap anything against it against the desk. So yeah, just drank a Coca-Cola, so probably gonna be burping for the whole stream. Give me a second while I fill up on water and get the walkthrough up, and then we'll continue the stream. I'll be right back. Rather start out the stream. Oh boy. And before this stream, I was thinking of working out a little, but my schedule for it is so fucked up. I spent basically the whole day just thinking about doing it and motivating myself. And it's not until it's like 11 p.m., close to midnight, that I'm like, well, I either do it now or I just don't do it at all. That's what finally gets me to go down and do something. Otherwise, I'm just, I don't know, browsing Twitter or reading Discord messages or playing gacha games. I'm like so bad at using my time lately. Let's see, where is this? I need to delete this fucking thing. Okay. Let's pick up where we left off. I believe we had finished chapter 5. We were starting the last chapter, and it seemed like everything is fine, and we're just gonna go do side quests, and we're gonna see how long that lasts. I have to go around buying things now. Out of the shop. I'm away from the booth, we'll come back later. Sorry, please come back later. That's weird, she's not here. I guess it's that time of the week. She might be around the church. Where was the church anyway? It was this way, right? That is in the church.
What do I do?
That is in the church. Is this the church? There are people inside.
The goddess of the sky is always watching over us.
Okay. Aha. I want to buy stuff.
More candy again?
Why do they let me do this? Okay. But we do want the
Stay out
newspaper.
of trouble.
So back when they had to rezone everything, they gave each area a number. At the time, the main way of getting around was by horse and carriage, so the numbers made everything easier to understand. And that's why Vantail, with all the government offices, was given the number 1. Oh, so the numbers were added later. That makes sense. Be good with kids for a spinster. What's that supposed to mean, Sonny? Come on, scram! Don't you got better things to do? Kinda walked into the classroom. Started shit-talking the guest speaker. So mad. You met... Grandpa told me about that. So Mommy was telling me about rivers she wants to buy? What does Riverside Market mean? Oh, Riverside Market. You mean Riverside Market though, lady? Mm-hmm. Center Marché comes around about the same time. Nowadays, it's split up into these 9 districts. I'm just going over the city. Hey, it's this bum. I wish I could find a darker spot. Too much light here. Huh? What? You got a problem? I didn't do anything wrong, so piss off. Okay, let's keep buying stuff.
Say, why not take some flowers? Hey, why not take some flowers with you?
Okay, I will.
I hope I see you again.
Well,
Where else? Got the bath event. Gotta do one for each chapter. And sometimes more, I guess. I'd recognize that body anywhere. Oh. I haven't the foggiest idea what you're talking about. Don't tell me he's figured it out. We don't have her with us, do we? There was this apprentice singer I met back when I was a young lad. Oh, it's coming back to me. Oh, did he meet his mom? I got to listen to her sing just this wonderful chanson. Poor grandmother. Knocked me off my feet. You look just like her, I swear. An apprentice, huh? You might be thinking of someone else. What, that's it? No big backstory or anything? Lame. I don't like where this is going, but I couldn't tell you why. I'll just butt out. Oh, I guess we did bring these two with us. Who did I leave at the office? Reset and Katrum? Okay. Hi, Anya's mother. I guess you went to school.
I appreciate you always.
Let us bathe. It's rare that I have more than Van in the screen.
I hate getting sweaty, but I could get used to this.
I'm really working up a sweat. That was nice and refreshing.
You look nice and refreshed.
Okay, got an achievement over that. Enter the sauna and Edith in every chapter. Plus the other extra baths. Okay. See, there's also another battle in the simulator, but I don't really want to do that. They're kind of a pain in the ass. All the bosses are so friggin' tanky. Lilac ribbon for Ren. How many points?
Oh, thank you.
It's not enough points. Might have to do this if we want to max her out.
Off we
Okay.
go. Got it.
Fine with me.
okay.
We're going somewhere else. So that was Old Town. Let's go to Riverside.
Off we go.
Gotta buy more things. And we're gonna have to go back and read the newspaper. See what they say about the last chapter. Alright.
What'll it be?
Wild helmet for Burgard.
Come again.
Thank you, Bear.
That's a lot of points. Probably because you get him kind of late. So there aren't many free time events you can do with them. Okay, where to next?
Off we go.
That's everything we can get from here. So, Station Street.
What are we waiting for?
Oh. Must be a special day if you two are coming in together. Good work today, Lahad, but dang it, we do not have that sort of relationship. Calm down there. Don't get all up in my case about it. Not what I was implying. I don't know what you two are on about, but I'd also like to thank you for your work in Messeldam today. We're on our way to a work trip. We'll be back later tonight, so the capital's all yours for today. Alright. I'll keep an eye on the capital's outskirts, just to be safe. Don't worry too much, and take things easy out there. Lahad and Regina were from other branches, right? They weren't at Edith before. I don't think. Where did we meet them? Got all that inspiration from that S-rank bracer that came over to visit, huh? Yeah, reminded me what being a bracer is all about. Do we even know any active S-rank bracers? What happened to E1 was a tragedy, but we need to keep going, for him. Even after what happened to E1, meeting that person has given them quite a kick to keep moving forward.
One bullet can change your fate.
They're making some steady progress.
Showing of the smash hit, Wolf's Requiem.
So I got kinda... kinda jump scared by that announcement. Who's this? Someone from the Institute?
Good grief.
What are you doing, Nate? He approved my request to take the afternoon off of the of the Revolution Festival off work. I might actually get to take my girlfriend on a date for once. Oh, that'll be nice. You sure now's the time to talk about it? We only do half a day during the Revolution Festival, sure, but today's just a normal duty day. Shouldn't you be going back to the station? Last I heard you talking about going on a date was around the film festival. Don't tell me you've been neglecting her since then. You could be nicer, you know? I don't know if you deserve it, honestly.
What'll you have today?
Orbital massager for Judith. Device that relaxes stiffened muscles. I bet.
Thanks for coming.
I can handle any maintenance.
New driver, innocence. Is it just all empty? Okay. just do whatever you want with this one.
I'm ready to help whatever you need.
That's kind of interesting. And right, the new gift for Judith. Where is it?
Don't mind if I do.
Let me check upstairs real quick to see if I notice any character. Oh. I guess not. They're students from Agnes' Academy, but no one we know. Administrator Wesley. Rival? What are you talking about? Okay, I think that's everything that's in here. Where can we get something new? Down to Sidon District.
What are we waiting for?
That's a lot of that's a lot of red
That's fair.
red markers. So still not painting the tower, rather. The time has come. You will be mine this day. I had to spend the time inside, of course, but I hardly gave in. What, did you think I would? You wounded me. This time I'll unveil that je ne sais quoi, that mystic aura of yours, and display it for all to see. He's been here all day, every day since the start of the game, and I don't think she's.
So in love with this brand.
I don't think she's
Welcome to Erland, sir.
drawn a single stroke. I'm just looking around. I think you have what I want.
Hey, welcome. Thanks, pal.
Discovered a new recipe.
Fine with me.
Should be the only thing here. So next up, we got some stuff in the Blacklight district.
Off we go.
Guess I'll check out the arena.
What will it be? I'll be seeing you.
I've got some fine wares for sale.
Gift for Katra, white porcelain teapot.
Ha! Best come again soon.
I think the music has changed. It was something different before. Wait, I think I missed. I think there were two gifts and I just missed one.
I've got some. Ha!
No, never
Best
mind.
come again soon.
Never mind. What's the other one though?
Hey, mister, how about some What'll you have today?
New recipe and red gold anklet for fairy.
Thanks for coming. Thanks.
Thank you.
Hey. Studious Prodigy. I think that's everything here, which only leaves a movie at Tyrell District.
Then let's head
We're
over.
gonna have to look at our connection points with everyone to see who we should invite, though. Though, at this point, I don't think I'm gonna be maxing out these bonds. Let's see, where was the menu for this? So Aaron still has 2 stages. 45 points away, 2 stages, 20 points away. He only has the 1, so Catra's probably not worth it. If we get a connect event and we do it with him, we'll max him out. Judith, 40 points. I think this only gives like 25 though. Burgard, Seaman. Burgard might be worth it. No, and then yes. I can just max her out actually. Agnes and Burgard or Agnes and Reset, I think. And what events do I have? What connection events do we have available? We have Yume, Ren, Nina Fenley, B. Okay, no one in the party, at least for now.
Thank you for your visit today.
Oh, and I also need to figure out which movies I have watched before. Where are movie brochures?
Hello. The showing on screen 1 will soon begin.
I don't think we watched this one. I didn't see Midnight
If
Memories.
you have a ticket, please proceed to the entrance.
How many tickets do you wish to buy? We're gonna get one for Agnes. And one for...
We have merchandise for the movie on sale at the shop.
Let's do a reset.
Why not?
Three high schoolers sneak into an old mansion, looking to use it as the setting for their independent horror film. Isn't this the plot for the latest, like Dead by Daylight game thing? Lance is the star actor, Joshua is the cameraman, and Emily is the screenwriter. Each dutifully fulfills their role, and the filming progresses without incident. However, a strange phenomenon occurs as they begin shooting the final scenes.
For real? Is it just me, or has the lighting been acting up for a bit?
Like the Until
Has
Dawn
it?
Dead by Daylight thing.
I don't know. It was working fine this morning. Whoa! The lights went out.
Hey, come on! I can't see a thing! Get those lights back!
Lance?
Play.
Huh? Emily? Is that you? Blood! Hey! Emily! Something happened to
Come play with me, Joshua.
Dun, dun, dun. The movie ended there. That was very entertaining. I've never seen a horror film before this. I can understand now why someone would go out of their way to subject themselves to such fear. I imagine it becomes addicting. This is like kind of validating the point of the main antagonist, I guess. You seem to handle that movie like a trooper, though. Not that I expected anything else from the likes of you. Perhaps, but I certainly still felt my heart race as I was watching it. Perhaps next time I watch such a film, I'll do so at night. I'm sure that must add to the ambience. Do you have a heart? How close to the human body is that body of yours? Agnes, you doing okay? What do you mean? I'm perfectly fine, really. I had you there next to me the whole time. What more could I have needed to feel safe? Sure, it got my heart really pounding and blood racing, but other than that, oh. Agnes? Agnes, wake up! Agnes! After being carried to the doctor's office and taking a brief rest, Agnes came back to her senses and fully recovered, good as new. She just fucking died. Anyway, so let's not bring Agnes to the scary movies. Irreplaceable assistant. I got an achievement for erasing someone's connection to the max level. I guess it's for getting a party member to the max level, because we've definitely done that for side characters. Perfect supporter. Defense and arts defense. We did get the movie brochure, right? Yeah. Got the spooky the spooky still of the character's face. Okay. Nine movies watched. Or 12 movies, huh? Because that means we get 3 more days, or 3 more segments where we can do it. Alright, now there is one more location that we can visit actually. I almost forgot. I think.
On my way.
Because last time we went to this district, we were only allowed to go to the dungeon. But it should be... yeah, it should be a full thing. Let's look around for things to buy. There's a cat. We can talk to it? These tears are always willing to get close to me when I'm anxious. I guess even kittens can tell how people feel. No.
Hello.
Hi, Shino. You got a new thing, a serene cocktail made by made with Shino's blend of fruit juices.
Thank you.
Hey, Shino. Great to see you in front of Aramis. Alright, I was looking for a good spot, and I suppose I just ended up here. The location is nice and quiet, and the view is just lovely. And not only that, but my food is actually quite popular with the students. Well, of course you'd want a snack after classes. You get hungry after so long. No, I think you just don't eat enough, small fry. I imagine the sports club members are especially appreciative. Hey, Sonia? I guess we get to talk to the students and faculty. Probably can't
No
do much
outsiders
over here.
allowed, huh? Guess that makes sense.
Okay.
Not like there'd be much to see. It's a day off, so there are hardly any students around.
Oh, hello, Agnes. You busy with that part-time job you mentioned? Hello, Mr. Powell. Yes, that's right. You're Agnes's teacher? You look very smart. Mr. Powell teaches history and is in charge of the second-year students. I don't know how smart I really am, but I'll be glad to answer any questions you might have. If I know the answer to them, at least. Oh, you're... Arkwright. Fine Arkwright. Huh? If he knows you, then... Man, figured he would have forgotten all about me already. I see you, Mr. Powell. It's only like 10 years difference. As he's been working here for a while. You don't just forget students as special as you, Van. It's been 7 long years. 7? Van's 24. Why am I always fucking struggling with the math here? I guess he left when he was 17 then. I'm glad that despite everything, you seem to be doing well. I'm doing fine, thanks. But I guess I made shit real rowdy around here, huh? Sorry about that. Not at all. I do wish I'd been able to do more for you as your teacher. But I guess it's too late for such regrets now, isn't it? If there's anything I can do for you now, I hope you know what you just have to ask. Appreciate it, but I really am fine. Thanks for the thought, though. It hadn't even occurred to me that Van might have been one of Mr. Powell's students. So Van studied at Aramis? That's new. He did sort of give me that feel. He's just full of surprises, eh? Not a big deal, but it does kind of bother me.
Not this way.
So...
Whoops. Whoops.
Not allowed. Not allowed to walk up to the school. Who's that good boy? There's a little cake shop. There's also Ren hanging out. And Odette was her name? Okay, we got finals after the festival, and we've got to start planning the school festival after that too. Both the student council and my clubs will keep me very busy. Oh, I'd finally forgotten all about exams. Why did you have to remind me? This will be really hectic for you, huh? Make sure you don't miss the Revolution Festival. We can take great inspiration from it for our own school festival. An excellent idea. I have little experience planning events like these, but I'll endeavor to make sure the tea party is most exquisite. I was hoping you'd hold a candle to Janice after my transfer, or to Thor's, considering all I've heard from Tita. And yes, Odette, Sasha, I have high hopes for you. No, I don't like that. This is gonna be weird. I can feel it. I'm gonna be busy anyway, but seeing Ren get so into this is a little scary. Well, we don't have time to dawdle. Onwards, you guys, to the next seer. Of course.
Welcome to Andalusia Patisserie. Looking to buy something?
Kingdom tarts, strawberry macaron.
See you again.
I actually don't know if there's any point to me getting any more food since we already hit level 10 in the gourmet thing. Like, I'm pretty sure it's the
That
max.
was a fine meal.
Love me a sugar rush.
Might be an achievement for getting all the food in the what's it called? In the diary. Your journal. Okay, what else can we get here? There's a blue event. I think we bought everything. A cathedral.
Wow, this cathedral isn't as big as the one in Oracion, but it's still pretty massive. The interior is also quite beautiful, and it's such a soothing place to be in.
Looks like they're busy getting ready for the memorial service.
That shouldn't mean we cannot take a look around.
Alright, I think I largely understand. While I don't intend to encourage your illicit activities, I do, however, agree that something must be done about Almada and their legacy. You're welcome to come and go from here as needed while you're in the capital. How very kind of you. No, but seriously, I appreciate the help. I was kinda expecting every higher-up in the congregation for divine worship to have a stick jumped up there. Celis, you're being rude. However, I will agree that it's a little surprising. Hardly. Let's just say that arrangements had been made by someone else already. And speaking of them... My, what a coincidence. Father Bark... Wait, shit, I meant Master Brigard. Celis, Leon, it's been about a week. Nice to see you too, Bishop Orwell. It's been a while. I appreciate you making arrangements. Don't mention it. We might not be part of the same organization, but you always did well by me when you were on active duty. Now, if you'll excuse me, I shall take my leave. Take however much time you need, all of you. Install his office. Is that what you call the place where a bishop works or retires? I don't know. His chambers. Guess they probably would have kicked us out the door if it wasn't for you, eh, Master? But we've managed quite a lot on our own. Now, don't be so put out. Building bridges where there used to be none takes time. So, what's the current status? I do not believe the rubble's been cleared in Oracion yet. Right, about that. Oh, you're still sticking with these jerks, Master? I was under the impression you were merely accompanying them as a matter of necessity, and that you'd part ways after business was settled in Oracion. You know you can just say hello, right? Ain't gonna deny we're not cut from the cleanest cloth. Let's just say it's a complicated matter. For the time being, it would be far more beneficial to stick with them than act alone. It isn't too unlike the reason that brought you to the capital in the first place. You never pull a punch. We left the Second Dominion in charge of cleaning up that mess. Those partitions of his should help look for shit faster than I ever could. Oh, so I forgot his name. The guy that pretended to be a teacher in the Cold Steel games. Abbas's team also arrived to lend a hand. He's been acting separately from Wasi quite often lately. Oh, cute. You know, I was kind of really upset. I remember when I was playing Cold Steel, and Cold Steel 2, I think it was in particular, where they had this thing where they had this collectible item that only appeared in New Game Plus, and you had to collect all of them to get a secret scene that revealed that professor was actually a Dominion from the Grouse Ritter. And the third game assumed that you had actually done that. That you had collected done a second playthrough and collected all the secret items and knew all about this. And if you didn't, it's just sort of, here's this guy. This is what you didn't know about him. Every character is acting like you've seen this shit, even though it didn't happen in the previous game. Been acting separately from Wasi quite often lately. So I guess that's what you ought to expect of a master of the Kunlun school. I will leave you two to it then. I'm glad you're doing well. Hopefully, I will get to see them sometime. Kevin and Gaius too. Just dropping a lot of names. Please, maybe that'll get them off our backs. The commander's not said shit, so they're bothering us about it instead. Is the commander for you? Were they to upset her, she would sooner drink them under the table than speak frankly. They are aware of that. They're having fun. How much of a deal is Gramps? Someone's fawning over him everywhere we go. He looks to be very well acquainted and respected by a lot of high-ranking individuals. He's got a lot of apprentices outside the church, like me. But why would these idiots be all the way here? What's so important to leave artifact retrieval to someone else? If we're talking about Almada's legacy. Could that mean... No, it can't, can it? Something bugging you, Arkwright? Need to let some steam off? We never declared a proper victor for that little game, so why don't you square up for another round? I'm chilling for just 1 second. If you got some pent-up energy, go bother someone else. Besides, a lot of other players are out here in the capital today. Not that that might have anything to do with why you two are here. Do feel free to guess. I'd love to hope for nothing to happen whatsoever, but we're not naive enough to let our guard down. We're merely here as insurance. I don't know, like you, Spriggan. You're fine, guess you've got a point. They get along like cats and dogs. Pretty boy over there looks like he has a bone to pick with Van. But I don't think it has anything to do with Brigard. Bad predictions. Nothing bad will happen whatsoever. Okay. Is there anything else, or can we move to side quests? If we can. I don't remember where where the bulletin board was. Something back here? We're gonna have to try to get some chaos points that don't involve us murdering someone.
Hey,
At least not real named characters.
What do I do?
Now, what's it say?
My son Curtis has recently started behaving rather violently. I'm concerned he might have made friends with some bad eggs. I would like you to investigate what happened to him. I will explain things over at my house in Old Town. Curtis. Let's start the quest. I don't think I've checked very often with this house and the people here. You're Sora, right? The one who put the call out for us? We're with Arkwright Solutions. Nice to meet you. Oh, wonderful. Thank you thank you so much for coming. Please, have a seat. I'll get some tea ready in just a minute. I was curious what a Spriggan would be like, you know? You look just like normal people. I might have even seen you around town before. You probably have. Our office is in Old Town. I know some stuff about you and your son. He's studying for high school entrance exams, right? Wow, you weren't kidding. You really do know about us. But you're right. We're hoping he'll be able to get into Aramis Academy. So I've been having him rigorously study every day. His grades were in a bit of a rut for a while, but they have thankfully started improving. Not that I ever doubted him, of course. He's my son, so of course he's capable. If he keeps this up, he surely will nail his spot in the academy at the tippy top of his class. Sparkles. Mom's real passionate about her kid's education. But right as he's starting to show some promise, the situation turns dire. Curtis has been behaving really strange as of late. Become violent all of a sudden. Yelling really loudly? Hitting things? He's never done that before. I can see why you would be concerned. Never in his life. He's always been a good boy. He must be in some awful company if he's acting this way. That's the most logical explanation. I take my eyes off him for a moment and this happens. That's why I need you. Please, figure out what happened to my precious Curtis. What if he's gotten a little sassy? I'd want to curse myself mute if I was getting choked like this 24/7. Really? I don't think it would hurt to look around a little and make sure he isn't falling in with a bad crowd, just to be safe. What do you think, Van? Should we help her? Maybe. Give me a minute to think about it. Or give me a minute to think about it. Alright, we'll take the case. Fantastic, thank you so much. If you don't mind me asking, ma'am, where's Curtis right now? He's out buying some reference material. There's a bookstore in the Tyrell district we'd like to shop at. I imagine he's there. Oh, so he's out right now. Perfect. Before we start with anything else, mind if we search his room? I ain't too hot on digging through a teen's room like that, but it's the most obvious place to start looking. I understand. You can search his room. Please follow me upstairs. Bet you anything he's got all the good dirty mags hidden under his mattress. How did I know you were gonna say that?
Commencing mission.
Aaron's immediately saying, let's find the porn. Here you are. This is his room. Thanks for showing us. Alright, let's get this done before the kid's back home. They found nothing of note that could possibly explain his violent turn in behavior. The only objects kept hidden were mock exams with failing scores. But a few minutes later, well, look at that. Did you find something, Van? You bet. Take a look at what I found tucked away inside the desk drawer. A mint tin? It looks empty. Oh, is he like getting what's a drug that lets you focus? I forget. Like Adderall or something? They sell tobacco flavored mints inside these suckers. You only get them if you're smoking or trying to quit. That would explain why it doesn't smell like cigs in here. You could have been chewing on those instead of lighting one up. They taste like what? It might not be the real thing, but only delinquents even think about smoking at his age. Oh, my poor Curtis, where did I go wrong with you? I thought I raised you to be such a good boy. I don't know, it's just trying to smoke, but not really. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. We might be missing something that explains why he had this tin. So I think it's interesting that the lady mentioned that he was slightly in a rut about his grades, and then he started improving recently, and then this stuff started happening. My first thought was either he got some help from the outside to give him answers to questions, or he was taking some kind of drug. A performance-enhancing drug. And he needed help from the outside to get it. But it might just be the kid acting out because the mother is suffocating. And it's unrelated to the grades. I know exactly why he had it. It's all my husband's fault. Him and that scandal of his that got him demoted from the Bank of Edith. We were forced to move into Old Town because of that. If we were living in a safer neighborhood, my son wouldn't be straying from the path. Stray from the path. My husband was supposed to start working at a subsidiary once he was out of probation. But where do I end up finding him instead? Montmartre. I caught him eating there again without a care in the world while I was out shopping. Absolutely ridiculous. Has he been working this whole time, or just pulling the wool over my eyes? I can't trust him anymore. Would you? Wow, she just keeps going. Anyway, this tin gives us a good jumping off point. We'll keep sniffing around and see what we turn up. Pardon my outburst. I'll leave you all to it. I'll be waiting for your report downstairs. What's the matter, Van? Did you notice something else? Yeah, the tin still stinks. It's faint, but you can still get a whiff if you get real close to it. It smells just like an Orbital hookah. Feels like a lifetime ago, but I'd recognize that smell anywhere. What? Really? Here I thought we were finally done with that bullshit. I don't know if I'm more surprised by the Orbital hookahs coming back, or that hound's nose of yours picking up the smell. You mean the drug that A developed and peddled through Vegas films? I don't remember hearing about that stuff coming in tablets. Where did he get something like that? I worry for how his health might be affected. Alright, Chief, what's the plan? Do we go straight to the kid and get him to spill? No, we need to figure out where these things came from in the first place. Right now, this stays between us. Nothing good can come from his mom catching wind of this. With a firecracker of a mom like that, I can only imagine. As we were talking about tobacco-flavored mints, maybe a cigarette seller would know something. His father smokes too, that could also lead somewhere. Agreed, might as well look into both of those. The mom said something about her husband eating at Montmartre. How dare... How dare my husband take a break at the bistro.
Hey,
He should be grinding out there. Is he outside? Oh. Kinda chubby.
Let me ask you something.
Got a minute? We want to ask you something about your son. My son is chewing on tobacco-flavored mints? I can't believe it. He's never been the brightest at school, but I didn't think he'd be that stupid. Sir, please calm down. As an aside, do you smoke at all yourself? Goddess, no. Why would I? The smell would only make our clients uncomfortable. And do you have any idea why Curtis would be taking those tablets? Any idea at all? Oh, I know what's going on with him. Boy must be getting lazy, tired of studying for entrance exams. So he must be taking them as a distraction. What an embarrassment. Getting real spoiled if he thinks he can get away with all this nonsense. When I was his age, I was so focused on my studies I didn't even eat or sleep. Back in my day. Just what in Gehenna is Sora doing racing our son for him to turn out like that? What's his problem? I get that he's mad, but he's still the kid's dad. Sounds like the parents themselves have some issues to work through. With parents like these, kid was gonna start acting out sooner or later. Thanks for the info. We'll get out of your hair now.
Let me ask you something.
You sell cigarettes, right? Did you sell any cigarettes to a kid? I mean, pills. Sorry to interrupt your class. Can we have a quick chat? We wanted to ask about a kid we've been hired to look into. Name's Curtis. For all the times. I guess we can. Sorry, I guess we can if it really can't wait. Let's go somewhere else. Right, okay. Not gonna lie, I think his parents are making a storm in a teacup. It's not gonna turn into some hardened criminal because of this. But to answer your question, I do know who you're talking about. He came to my tobacco kiosk about an hour ago. He did? Yeah, he asked if I had any tobacco-flavored mints for sale. I told him I don't sell them, and that even if I did, a kid like him shouldn't go anywhere near them. He got all huffy and started yelling, called me an old hag, which was nice of him. Wow, I'm so sorry you had to deal with that. Damn, kid's got balls to say that to your face. What did he do after that? Beats me. I guess he went looking for some other place he could sucker into selling him those mints. Makes sense. Thanks for the info. Well, that's both people on our list. None of it helped. Dad didn't really tell us anything new about the kid, and we got no info to go on about those mints. Because the last stop's that bookstore his mom mentioned. He might not even be there, but it can't hurt to talk to him if he is. If he's not, we can always ask the staff. They might know something.
Off we go.
Oops. Sometimes, like, I keep pressing the shoulder buttons, thinking it's gonna open the map.
What are we waiting for?
I see.
Ah, welcome. I hope to see you again.
Can we talk?
I don't see anyone who looks like they could be Curtis. I'll hit up the manager and see what she has to say. Excuse me, does the name Curtis ring a bell by any chance? Oh wow, poor Curtis. I had no idea he was going through all of that. He comes here a lot, so one of my workers and I made a point of looking after him and helping him with his studies. Unfortunately, I couldn't tell you anything about his personal life, or those mints you mentioned. That's all news to me too. That's okay. We appreciate you talking to us at all. We're telling everyone about this, huh? If you don't mind me asking, could you tell us about the other worker? Oh, I recognize you. You come here a lot too. You're from Aramis, aren't you? His name is Albert. You probably know him, right? Yes, absolutely. I can't believe I forgot that this is where he works. He sure does. He and Curtis seem to get along really well. We would recommend reference books for Curtis to buy and whatnot. Between the two of us, I imagine Albert would know more about him than I do. Got a lot of good that'll do unless we can track the nerd down. Any ideas where he might be? At this hour, he's probably either on campus or somewhere around the Auburn district. And what are we waiting for? Let's go find him. That's exactly what we're gonna do. Fingers crossed he doesn't turn out to be a dead end.
Got it.
Damn it.
What are we waiting for?
This year's almost over already.
Were they here before?
Let me ask you something.
Sorry to call you all of a sudden, Albert. It's alright. It looks like something you need to be discreet about. Something like that. We're looking into someone right now. Do you know Curtis? Van Steam told Albert what they'd found. Jabber jabber. Damn it, I knew something was up. He'd been acting strange lately. Maybe unstable is the best word for it. It was very different from his usual self. How long have you known? You know, I don't really want to help you. But I guess I noticed it around late October, early November. He was pretty down in the dumps before that, saying he'd lost motivation. But he then started being all excited about his studies all of a sudden. Something was off about it though. I don't know where all that enthusiasm came from. I guess we're back to actual performance-enhancing drugs. Thank you for letting us know. Have you heard anything in particular about his friends? As if he was hanging around with a bad crowd? No, not really. Didn't look like it anyway. Wait, maybe it's not quite that. But I remember someone that looked like him hanging around the back streets in the Tyrell district. Because it was at night and the guy he was talking to looked real shady, I kinda just assumed it couldn't be Curtis. Damn it, maybe that's the guy that... Come on, stop mumbling that and out with it already. I've been warned at school to watch out for a suspicious man that hangs around Tyrell's back streets. He apparently sells tobacco and hard drugs to young people. That's what the rumors say anyway. I should have made that connection earlier. Curtis could have bought the tablets from him. That makes a lot of sense. Maybe he was going to meet him today when he said he was going to the bookstore. Looks like it anyway. Next up, Tyrell's back streets. Well, I'm glad I could be of help. Please, do something for Curtis. We will. Thank you for your help, Albert. No. Bag ourselves a dealer.
Let's do this.
These shots are so nice.
Oh, it's this guy? It's always this guy. It's been a minute since we'd seen generic thug NPC number one. There he is. That's gotta be the seller, right? He just looks like it. Only one way to find out. I'll pose as a customer and try talking to him. You guys hang out here. If we approach him as a group, he'll probably get spooked. Like generic thug NPC 1 out of 3. Makes sense to me. Good luck, man. Oh, hold on a minute, Chief. We're talking about a guy who deals to kids. He's not gonna want to sell to an old fart like you. You'll never miss an opportunity to remind me that I'm older than you, do you? You might have a point. If his client base is students like Curtis, then I sure as sell him out. Oh, Van, don't let Aaron get to you. You're still perfectly young. Yeah, don't worry about it. You should be more confident. Nah, I agree. I'm not the best man for the job. It ought to be someone who looks rebellious enough to enjoy taking drugs. Or else our guy won't bite. You're up, kid. Show this old man what a young punk like you can deliver. Hell yeah, I'll deliver alright. Just watch and learn. I'm gonna get all the drugs. Yo, dude, heard you could hook me up with some good shit. That true? Who the hell are you? Good friend of mine told me all about you. Said you've got some kick-ass mints that can get you high. Emphasis on the kick. Want to hook me up with some? I'll pay you whatever you want if it's that good. Yeah, I know what you're talking about, man. That lanky-ass school kid fill you in? I let you in on a secret. That stuff originally came straight from some pharmaceutical company. I hadn't heard of them before, but I guess they got busted by the cops or something like that. They were out of the market for only a hot minute before they were taken off. I just sold the last of my stock to that kid a little while ago. Sorry, they were out on the market for only a hot minute. You kidding me? All that talk and you've got nothing to deliver? Wait to let a guy down. Hey, trust me, I'd love to have more so I could make even more money. It is what it is. Seems like that kid's developed a real dependence on him, though. I tried telling him what I just told you, but he got all pissy with me. Told me to give him more before chucking what he had like a little baby. Stuff like that's why I'm freaky. Stuff like that's why I freaking hate dealing with addicts like him. They always gotta make everything hard. Bingo, so the kid really did just come through here? That's pretty shitty, yeah. What did he do after he threw that temper tantrum? I suggested some other stuff to try, but he wouldn't listen to me. All he wants are those mints, it seems. So I told him to try the Blacklight District, just to finally get the kid out of my face. Even told him how to get down there for good measure. Hopefully he'll leave me alone now. The Blacklight District, huh? That's a good idea. I could definitely see someone down there hawking that stuff in some dark and dingy corner. Is that all you were after too? Just those mints? I've got plenty of other perfectly good stuff, you know? I'll even give you a free hit. You should try it. Nah, I'm good, man. I'm only interested in those mints too. Great, thanks for nothing. What a waste of time this was. I think I'm gonna try selling somewhere else today. Being here's better than a stuffed palm. Nice work. Looks like you got a lot out of that dirtbag. I'm just glad we have an idea of where Curtis might be now. I bet we can guess where those mints came from, too. Yeah, it was probably a dummy corporation set up by A. Now all we need to do is find the kid and hear his side of the story. Seeing as he's on his way to the Blacklight District, let's focus on dragging him out first. We can question him after that. It's good to me. A place like that's going to be dangerous for a kid like him before long. Let's track him and get him out of there.
Off we go.
I don't think I've seen you before.
Oh, finally. I finally found you. Hey, you're Maja, right? The herb seller? Tell me you've got the mints I'm looking for. Say, I don't think I recognize you. Look like you came from the surface, the way you're dressed. Hate to break it to you, but I don't stock that garbage. Honestly, you should really quit taking those things if you know what's good for you. Liar, you have those mints. I know it. If I don't get more of those mints, I'm... Bingo. I knew this is where we'd find our... where we'd find our Poindexter. Huh? What do you want? I could swear I recognize you from somewhere. You're Curtis, right? Clearly something's going on with this kid here. Mind filling me in? Sure, his mom sent out a request for us. Jabber jabber. Jabber 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 jabber. What? I didn't hear anything about that. All I knew was that they were hard to come by. What do you mean drugs are bad? I thought they were ordinary mints that just happened to taste like tobacco. Oh, there's more to them than that. Much more. I heard they were manufactured by A, and that they leaked out onto the streets before the cops did their post-Starbuck roundup. The CID stamped out their pipeline, so they're not being made anymore. It's only a matter of time before they're off the streets completely. Well, that's a relief. I get you kids like to rebel against your parents, but hard drugs aren't exactly the gotcha you think they are. It's not about that! I'm not trying to rebel! I need those mints! Why can you simpletons understand? It's not worth damaging your body, you really need to stop. Already showing side effects, bud. That outburst there? Probably the mints making you irritable and prone to withdrawal. Like it or not, those things are having an impact on you. They're only gonna get worse the longer you're on them. I know that, for crying out loud. I know they're dangerous, but I have to take them. If I don't have them, I can't study hard enough. If I can't study hard enough, my mom will beat me. God, I'll fail my entrance exam, and then I'll just be another stupid kid like all the rest. I don't even want to imagine how my parents would react if that happens. They'll yell and scream and maybe kick me out of the house. Oh, my life's over, isn't it? This poor kid. I feel awful for him. This poor kid's been driven into... Sorry. I'm struggling a little bit, I'm sorry. This poor kid's been driven into a corner. We have to hold his parents accountable. No middle schooler should be stressing like this. Fear not, young man. So long as we're on this case, we won't let your parents unjustly punish you. That I promise. Okay, I didn't sign up to be this family's counselor. It's pretty clear to me that the parents share some of the blame here. We're gonna need to give them a talking to. I know you're not gonna like this, but I need you to be a part of that discussion with us, okay? If you don't mind me asking, do you know who sold those mints to him in the first place? We do, actually. One guy with a goatee. There are like a million of them in the city. Sounds like he had a habit of slinging his stuff around town. Oh, him. Should have figured. Don't you guys worry. He hasn't been on the streets for long. I'll be sure to remind him of the rules we have here. Though, frankly, if he's going around selling drugs to children, he won't be on the streets for long. Thanks, we'd really appreciate it. Saves us all... God damn it. Saves us the ball ache of having to go find him again. I probably ought to report back to René before doing anything else, though. Now that we're done here, let's swing back to Bermotti's place and fill him in on the details. Good idea. Maybe he can take a look at Curtis and diagnose his condition, too. They visited Bermotti. Having previously analyzed the ingredients found in the orbital hookahs, Bermotti was able to prescribe sorely needed medicine for the boy. And once Curtis's symptoms subsided, Van contacted his parents. They agreed to reconvene at the family's home so the group could report their findings. Okay, now that everyone's here, we can get started. Well, what did you find? Was I right? Has Curtis made some bad friends? I'm sure it's just a typical rebellious teen phase. Sad child. Let's go over what we found and then we can take things from there. Van began by discussing how Curtis bought the tobacco-flavored mints from a dealer on a whim. Curtis soon had developed a dependency on them, since his academics improved when he used them. Van also brought up how the mints were laced with drugs. Though the side effects were light, Curtis soon started taking prescription medicine, thinking it would cure him. This is so much to take in. I feel so dizzy simply thinking about it. To think my own son would be taking prescription drugs. He's even worse than I could have imagined. I'm very disappointed in you. Is this the thanks I get after supporting you in your studies unconditionally? What do you have to say for yourself, young man? Keep it down, will you? Or do you want the neighbors to hear you? As for you, did you forget that your father just started working again? I don't have time for this nonsense, and yet here you are, causing me nothing but problems, as if I don't have enough on my plate already. I practically had to beg for some time off work to come have this conversation with you. Are you even aware of what I'm going through? Sorry. I'm honestly surprised at the total lack of shame here. So am I. Are you actually sorry for what you put us through, young man? I trust the police aren't going to have to get involved at this point. The last thing I need is for my son to get arrested. Now that will really get me fired. Dude, that's your son getting arrested. Why are you thinking about how it's going to reflect on you? Motherfucker, no, you took it all wrong. He's not the one that should be ashamed. It's you two. You should be mortified. Well, I guess that's up to you. Can't force either of you to feel guilty. Guilty? What should I even feel guilty for? Don't try to change the subject. Curtis is the one that's acting like a delinquent. This isn't about us. We aren't pieces of shit. We didn't pressure him into the corner. On the contrary, this is all about you folks. Or did you forget already? You asked us to figure out why your kid changed. We're serving you the answer on a silver platter. Curtis was hitting a dead end with his studies and felt like he was being driven into a corner. That may be true, but I fail to see what that has to do with either of us. Oh, so you're not just an asshole, you're also stupid. Because you're not getting it, I'll spell it out for you. Your son didn't fall in with a bad crowd or change because of some damn mints. It's all his parents' faults, a neglectful pair that failed to notice what he's been going through. Or maybe you just didn't want to. I knew I wouldn't like where this conversation was headed. Where did I fail as a father, huh? Have you two ever stopped to think about how Curtis feels? I don't know everything about your family, but it looks like you two only worry about what you want for him, and not what he wants. And who are you thinking you can tell us how to run our family? You don't have the slightest idea of how hard I've worked for this. Also, Curtis could get into a prestigious high school. Future would be set. Exactly. Do you know how much money I've spent on his textbooks and mock tests? I've done all that despite my work situation. This conversation is getting nowhere and fast. You'd have known they wouldn't listen. But if you're wrong bailing out and leaving the kid out to dry, though. Not really my style, but I guess it's time for a little marriage counseling. So the options are basically low points and chaos points, and we've gone... the divorce is chaos points, that's kind of funny. We are way higher on law, so let's balance things out a bit. Because this will probably... because this will be good for the kid as well. Put them through a divorce on top of it all. Maybe a little shock therapy is in order. Let's see what they think if I tell them they ought to split. I know this is the best time to bring it up, but from where I'm sitting, things look kind of hopeless for this family. What if they take you, like, seriously, though? If this is how things will keep going on between you two, the one that's gonna come out losing the most is your son. I'll be frank, at this point, everyone might be better off if you get divorced. What? No, I don't want Mom and Dad to get divorced because of me. It's going too far. Right, Mom? Dad? I won't deny that I kind of hate... I kind of hate my wife right now. And when our home life isn't exactly happy. Tell us the truth, son. You're fed up with me and your mother, aren't you? That's... I didn't mean for things to turn out this way. It was like an hour ago she was bitching about finding her husband eating out for a break. Like during his lunch break. I thought that this, even if it took hard work, it would be smooth sailing after Curtis made it into Aramis, that his future would be set. But the more I think about it, I was just forcing him to do what I wanted and what would make me happy, not him. Mom. It's my fault too. I left your mother alone to deal with everything regarding the household. I didn't realize that you felt so trapped, son. No, that's not it. I didn't even make the effort to understand how you felt. I failed as your father. How is Van telling them to get divorced to getting this result? Dad, so what'll it be? Are you gonna give up? Cut your marriage loose? No, I don't want to! Yes, we've not seen each other eye to eye for a while, but that's no reason to throw it all away. We've come so far as a family. So you could tell that whenever Curtis did something wrong, his father would yell at him constantly. I guess the father wasn't even there. I'm not sure it's just been a while. But I'm not ready to throw in the towel either. I want to make amends, even if I still have a lot to think about. You're my family, after all. I think it's time for us three to sit down and talk. Talk and figure out where we went wrong, and how to fix things. Yes, I think that's what we need. Okay. Glad things have finally calmed down. You had me on the edge of my seat the whole time. That was some fine work diffusing the situation. No one doesn't quite like you, Van. Nah, it wasn't anything special. Just did what I felt was needed to turn things around. I don't got anything else to add here. The rest is up to you. And don't worry about the whole drug deal. We'll take care of it discreetly so it doesn't become public. We'll get out of your hair now. Good luck, y'all.
Mission accomplished! Great job, you guys!
Mirror deposit confirmed.
Still need a lot more chaos points. Anyway, I have to get dinner ready. Let's discuss this over dinner, okay? So, but, how are your grades? No, that's not what I should be talking about. just don't really know where to start. What's going into you two? You were all normal this morning, and now you're all soft and stuff. Fine, I'll take the medicine, okay? And thanks. I guess I owe you.
Okay.
The kid's like, why are you yelling at me? This is weird. Dad hasn't threatened to beat me today. Okay. I guess that just means starting stuff. They never once mentioned hitting the kid. It was probably only verbal abuse. The acceptable kind of abuse, you know? Let's see, where to next? Station Street, I think?
On my way.
No rest for the weary.
Got a red mark on it.
Hmm.
Dingo's Legacy. Wait, that's kind of real.
Thank you for walking.
The editor-in-chief for the Gossip Rag Meld. I gotta tell you about Dingo Brad, who used to work here. If you're interested, come to the second floor of the Orbital Cafe. Wait. Let me have a look. Oh, there's another one. We received reports that the dangerous monster Genodus Nubia has appeared deep within the forest area of the Dirk Memorial Park. Go kill it. And smelling the usual scent, so I think the bulletin board's hunt's over. Pan, a reported friend of yours used to work at the Meld, right? The biggest gossip rag in Calvard. I didn't know you were tied with the editor-in-chief. I'm not. Dingo's mentioned him before, but I've never met the guy. It's supposed to be a bit of a headache to deal with, so I've tried to keep it that way too. It looks like my luck just ran out. I really think we should meet him. I wonder if he's there already. It's not that long a walk from here to the Orbital Cafe. We should go and visit him when we get the chance then. Better do it after the mission though. I'm assuming it's just in the depths then. Yeah, that looks like a boss enemy. Let me save it in a new slot. What does my team look like? Okay, it's just the basic Van and yes, Barry. And Aaron.
Now's a good time to boost.
Send you flying! You've got this, Agnes!
Here I go! Jabril guard! Perfect chance!
Just everyone buffing up. I mean, let's do the usual Van tanking strategy.
Let's party!
Think fast. Take this. Here goes.
Go time!
Oh, I can't get behind it. Oh well.
Activating skill.
It's still a crit.
Barry, now!
Sort of debuff it.
Here's Guardian Blade! Slice him up!
A chance!
Brace yourself.
A chance!
I'm just not gonna stop doing this. Oh wait. Oh, I ran out. Fuck.
Keep it up! It's working!
Fine. Let's just do Heavenly Halter then.
You're not getting away.
Maybe I can slow him down a bit.
I won't lose!
I think I'll be able to impede him in time. Yeah, she doesn't have anything that does that. I guess I could switch characters and bring in someone that does. Some things that I don't know who has something that impedes.
Let's party!
Yeah, screw it.
Activating drive.
It's okay. Van has a shield.
It's go time!
Energy output at max.
Eat this, sucker! Eat this, sucker!
Good luck.
Activating
Out with
skill.
a bang! Soar for me!
Boost gauge limit crushed.
Some good damage.
This'll hurt. Keep it up. It's working.
Activating skill.
Blades within me. Destroy. Yes.
Not really getting the debuff I want here. Oh, I should have healed Van. Forgot.
Here goes. Time for the...
A chance.
Going all in.
Grab the light. Innocent heal.
Thanks, I'll take that.
Ben. There we go. You won't get away with this.
Please stop getting your health back.
Too slow! It's go time! Eat this, sucker!
Energy out. Activating skill.
Have some of this!
Okay. Thankfully, Aaron does a shit ton of damage.
You did it.
So we killed the thing. Found Rebirth.
That's all, folks. Mirror deposit confirmed.
We got an achievement for getting all arts drivers. That's good. Got some chaos points for that, I think. Okay, next up, also we can do that Dingo's Legacy quest. What was your local cafe here?
Off we go.
Wow, that's great.
Hi. You really did come. Not that I didn't trust Dingo at all. The name's Van Arkwright. I take it you're Mel's editor-in-chief? Yep, that's me. Me and Dingo go back about 7 years. He told me a lot about you. Sounds like you were real busy over in Oración, too. Ah, no clue what you're on about. I thought there would be no reports about us being involved with it. There won't. The authorities are keeping it a secret. He's probably just saying that to get under our skin. Ah, well, whatever. It's not getting an article, so I'm not interested. I called you here for one of those forest PGs of yours. Nothing more, nothing less. The gist of it is that I want you to help me look for Dingo's notebook. Oh? What's this about? I suspect he had a notebook containing information he'd gathered as a reporter. Or more like as an information leader. Dealer. Both, actually. I first heard about it a few weeks ago, just before he headed off to Kryl. I could tell he was chasing a dangerous scoop of some kind. So I jokingly asked if he had a will ready yet. Oh. And look at us now. It didn't really occur to me, not even for a second, that this would happen to him just 4 days later. He laughed at it at the time and said one thing to me. The closest thing I had to a will is my notebook. I've left it with a trusted source, so if anything happens to me, send out a Forest PG about it. Wait a second. So this is the third memento of his, on top of the video and camera. We don't have that notebook ourselves, though. Sorry if that's what you were hoping for. Oh, I never thought you did. But I suspect you're the only one who can track it down. Dingo seemed to trust you way more than anyone. Or to trust you more than anyone. So I suspect that's the way he wanted it to play out, too. The authorities have got everything that happened in Kryl down on lock, and Almada are dead and gone. So I can't imagine it'd have anything worth writing an article about in it to begin with, which means it's not worth my while hunting it down. But I can't just go and ignore his words about it. So here we are. I'll put up the money for you to find this thing. My last gift to him. So, what's it gonna be, Spriggan? You gonna go find Dingo's notebook, or not? We are. Also give me those grade points. We'll take the job. You got anything else you want to share? Maybe he said something more about this trusted source of his, for example. Huh, yeah, I remember telling him that was nowhere near enough info to find the thing myself. Only hint he gave me was that it's with people who know about as much about my past as you do. Way to pique my interest. I wonder what Dingo's past was like. I've only heard bits and pieces of it myself. How much do you know? Even less than you do, I suspect. I know he used to live in Messeldam before ending up in the capital 7 years ago. That's about it. Wait, didn't Dantes act like he knew him?
It's been some time since we last met, Dingo Brad. Though we did cross paths in Tharbad, albeit briefly. If we exclude that little encounter, I haven't seen you since your days as a mere informant in Messeldam.
Yeah, and you were still Enrique's second-in-command back then.
They did touch on it during the trial video. Alright, we'll see what we can dig up with that info, then. Good luck. Anyway, my break's over. I've got to get back to work on finding scoops for the festival. I'll give you my number. Just give me a call if you do find it. I'll wire you the money if you do. It can be my way of honoring Dingo's death. Got it. We'll take it from here. So what's the plan here? We don't exactly have a load of info to go off of. Only clue we have is that it's someone that knows as much about Dingo as that guy does. That rules out Jack and Bermotti, and Van, obviously. Oh, and Ren, too. Yeah, any information dealer is probably out of question here, and so is anyone with as many connections as Ren has. And people like Nina and I know even less than that editor-in-chief does. Dingo was a very private person, and it went both ways. It honestly surprised me to see a gossip magazine report it being so considerate. That's just how Dingo was. Jack, Bermotti, and I tried not to pry into his past either, mind you. But something must have happened between Dingo and Dantes while he was still in Messeldam. He left the city after whatever that was, ending up in the capital and becoming a reporter right after. Don't know any details, but I imagine we'll get out of this knowing a whole lot more than we came in with. We're gonna be unearthing what he tried to bury this whole time, all the burdens he carried by himself. Man, you don't look like you're about to back down, though. Huh, no way. A job's a job, and I'm nothing if I can't see this shit through. This kind of shit through. But anyway, I can think of at least one person who'd fit the bill for this job that won't be a pain in the ass to meet up with. Oh? It's not an information dealer, mind you, but she was close to Dingo. I can't be the only one who immediately thought of her. Oh! I suspect I see who you mean now. Are we going to meet her then? Yeah, let's head on over to the Tyrell Times. Don't think a meeting with her will be all that hard to get as long as she's not out of the office. Right. Oh, damn it. That bastard up and left us with the bill. Gotta be pretty sly if you're gonna be running the biggest gossip rag in the country. Well, it's the least we could do for him since he brought this to our attention. I was like so mad hitting the table. I was like, what, is he gonna have a breakdown all of a sudden? It's like, no, he's just mad about the bill.
Then let's head over.
Gotta find Marielle.
Well, I heard.
Hello. Oh, it's you guys. Great job, everyone. You really saved the day back in Oracion. Thanks, you're a big help too. Without you, I doubt we'd have been able to get all those kids in the airship. All those 100,000 kids into that single airship. I've noticed you've been keeping busy lately. Yeah, you could say that. I had a lot of investigating to do once those revelations about Oracion came to light. And it was all worth it in the end. I feel like I'm finally making a difference. Good for you. Now Dingo's got one less thing to worry about up there. I sure hope so. If I'm that much closer to becoming the sort of reporter he was, I'll take it. Okay, now to have the actual story conversation. Oh, hey guys, good to see you again. Need something with the paper? Not this time. We came here to talk to you, Marielle. I'll give it to you straight. We're working on a first PG involving Dingo. I need your help. What? You are? What sort of request is it? Please, tell me. To put it simply... Jabber jabber. Jabber jabber jabber. We talked to Meld's editor-in-chief, Mr. Cunning? Wait, that's his name? I didn't realize it. Dingo told me about him before, but I've never had the chance to meet him in person. He said he wants you to find Dingo's notebook. That's right. Do you remember Dingo ever talking to you about that thing, by any chance? Doesn't have to be anything direct or explicit. Anything you happen to remember him saying will help. Actually, we did just talk about it before. I've seen that notebook with my own eyes. Say what? Where did that happen? As I'm sure you'll notice, when he was alive, I tended to barge in on him while he was trying to work on stuff. One day while we were having lunch, I was asking for advice on how to interview people, and he was writing stuff in this black leather notebook. I asked him what it was since I was curious. He told me it's where he jots his info down, both for his reporting work and info broker stuff. That definitely sounds like what we're after. At least now we know it's real. I got a little whiny and tried to get him to show me his notes, but of course he refused. When I got huffy about it, he kind of laughed and patted me on the head. I still remember exactly what he said. Who knows, maybe you'll get a peek at them one of these days. Although if I play my cards right, we should never have to. Oh wow. He must have already been preparing for what might happen to him in that case. If that's the way he was talking, then we can probably roll out him taking the notebook with him to Kryl. The CID also apparently swept through his place and couldn't find any real material of note that he left there either. He had to have either given it to someone else to hang on to, or stashed it somewhere for safekeeping. Which brings me to my next question. Can you think of anyone he would have left that notebook with? Or anyone who might know where it would be? Again, it's okay if you don't know anything definitive. Any leads you might have would be great. And just to be clear, I don't mean other brokers like Vermati. I'm talking about other sorts of acquaintances he had. Right, of course. Let me think. Based on what Mr. Cunning told you... Wait, could he have... You think of something? Maybe. I could be completely wrong, but I can't rule it out either. Basically, when Dingo was alive, he would sometimes cover, the adult industry for Meld magazine. He did? That's interesting. I guess that comes with being a tabloid reporter. What's the adult industry? Doesn't every industry have adults in it? It's code for grown-up stuff. Certainly more grown-up than this wannabe... or than his wannabe protege here, that's for sure. Grr. Anyway, one time I confronted him about it. Do you really have to cover such sexual stuff in your articles? If readers demand it, it's our job as reporters to give them what they want, plain and simple. Plus, it's a way to get information that can help shut down some of the nastier illegal places run by the Mafia. Oh, okay, I guess that makes sense. Say, out of curiosity, do you ever visit those sorts of places yourself? Huh? Only when I need to for work. Lately, I've been too busy to go to any places like that myself, so I've had to lean on one of my old contacts a lot to get what I need. Not exactly ideal when my job is supposed to be to report on things I see myself, but it is what it is. Fair enough, I guess. You sure won't hear me complaining about you. Complaining about what? Nothing at all. Anyway, who's this contact you mentioned? Her? She's a woman who operates underground. Runs a handful of outlets. Pretty talented, all things considered. It's like Dingo not allowed to use brothels. Not allowed to go to brothels to actually use their services. Not even Aaron. She, your contact, is a woman? Yeah, what does that matter? You've got to introduce me to her. It'll help me write better news articles. Yeah. Unfortunately, Dingo said it was too soon for me to be going to a place like that. And that was that. How old are you again? Aren't you 21? Looking back on it, there's only one part of town he could have meant when he said she worked underground, huh? I think that one goes without saying. Not only that, I think I just might know the woman he's talking about. Never would have guessed those two had any history. It just goes to show it's a small world we live in. I certainly remember there being a business that fit the bill when we were down there. Does that mean we're going back to the Blacklight district? Is it the sex toy shop? Yeah, who knows if we'll turn anything up down there, but it's worth a shot. Take me with you!
Hey, you guys? I want to go with you. Could I? Please?
I want to see all the sex stuff. I don't know. Yeah, it gets kind of dangerous in the Blacklight district. No, I know how dangerous it can be, believe me. But we're talking about Dingo's notes here. We did have to rescue her from over there. Not that long ago. What's inside them matters to me too, you know?
Who knows? Maybe you'll get a peek at them one of these days. Although if I play my cards right, you should never have to.
He does have a point. What do you think, Van? Alright, you can come. You did give us some valuable info, so it's only fair. But you gotta promise two things. One, you'll stay behind us down there. No running ahead. And two, you'll carry your own weight and help us out too. Deal? I'm sorry for tapping the table. Pretty sure that got carried into the mic. Deal. Thanks, Van. I promise you won't regret this.
Fine with me.
Go, go, go!
I don't know, I'm having trouble like reading today. Like stuttering more than usual, I feel like. I'm having trouble enunciating properly. Maybe I should slow down my reading, but I was trying earlier and I didn't feel like it was helping that much. Anyway, where could this be? I forget.
Boss is gonna yell at you.
I'll ignore that.
I like it.
Wanna get a drink together?
Ooh, you look dangerous. I'd better see you again.
What does she talk about normally, actually?
Come on, spill some blood.
See? What do you mean spill some blood?
Can we talk?
Right.
Oh, it's you. You know, I thought I knew you well, but I had no idea you and Dingo went so far back. Level with me here. You were the one helping him investigate Almada's illegal adult business, weren't you? Yeah, that's right. We must have worked together for, a decade, I want to say. We both had to keep it on the down low in order to operate freely, though. He and I had known each other since we were both up in Messeldam. Not long, huh? Guess that makes sense. If you don't mind me asking, how did the two of you, meet? Oh, it wasn't anything special. It was a newly minted intel broker, and I was your common whore, making ends meet out on the streets. We had a nice little thing going. He'd buy information I coaxed from my clients, and I'd do him some favors in kind. He scratched my back, and I scratched his. Huh. This is all news to me. Can we assume that Dingo hadn't started doing any reporting work back then? More or less. I will say, for an errand boy working underground, he had a certain naivete to him back then. Maybe because he was still so young. I had an acquaintance who worked at a local paper. Remember, he was pretty intrigued about that side of things. I'll also mention, it was 8 years ago when I made that move to Edith and set up shop down here. But before I left, he gave me some top secret information as a parting gift. His intel and his connections have been a huge help to me. Leave it to the lady killer to schmooze his way into the underground. He really helped a lot of people while he was alive, didn't he? That he did. Later on, after everything went down in Messeldam, that's when he ended up drifting into town. Personally, I was happy to see him make a clean break and get into a better line of work with better people. You never know what life has in store for you. Maybe the goddess took a liking to him and threw him a bone. Maybe so, yeah. Sorry to interject, but what happened to him in Messeldam? I didn't know anything about that. I wish I could tell you, honey, but it's not really my place to say. That all happened after I left, so I only heard things through the grapevine. But I won't leave you empty-handed. If you're looking for his notebook, I've got some information I'd be happy to share. Really? You do that? Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. Just to clarify, we're looking for this black leather notebook he used to carry around. You've seen it before, I take it. Sure have. You've been looking for a place to stash it away. I offered to hold onto it myself, but he turned me down. Can't blame him for being so cautious when he was going up against Almada. But I did hear him mutter about asking someone for help on his way out of town for a piece. That was 3 days before everything went down in Kryl, for reference. Holy cow, what timing! That's a valuable clue there. Actually, now that she mentions it, how did Dingo get to Kryl? Do you have any ideas, Van? He had this tiny-ass car, but he never drove it all that much. He was always paranoid of people following him. Usually he took a train or a bus when he had to go out to the Six. Probably flew a bit from time to time too. But I don't know what he did there. I don't know what he did here. Same. We're talking about a guy who knew all the tricks by that point. He might as well have just been moving randomly. Sure as hell wouldn't take something as obvious as public transit. Not when Almada had eyes everywhere. Exactly. I think we can rule out its own car too. That would have carried its own risks. Thinking realistically, he probably would have... Are you just listening to the music for a second? So the right answer here for extra points is taking a taxi. I think chances are pretty good our guy took a taxi. Oh, was it... I forget his name. That one writer we keep finding here and there. She was selling cheap, but it'd have given him the lowest profile and the most flexibility. They blend right in on the road. Oh, good thinking. You might be onto something, Van. Taxis are pretty commonplace, especially for people heading out of town. There's no way Almada could have been monitoring every single taxi running in Edith. But let's say he did take a taxi. What kind would he have taken? Probably some of those independent ones instead of a company taxi, right? That's a good point. A self-employed driver would have given him more flexibility. Sounds like you guys have your next lead. I have no idea who the driver could be, unfortunately. Maybe it was one of his friends. My guess is he had a driver he hired on the regular. Someone he could trust. That ring any bells for you, sweetheart? You know something? It actually does. I remember Dingo would sometimes hail a taxi to get to a reporting site. He mostly took one that had this black and yellow checkered pattern around the bottom. The driver was an eccentric guy too, from what I recall. Oh wow, that's really good info. Glad you were able to remember that. You said it. We'll have to look into it. We'll have to look into that once we're done here. Anyway, thanks for the chat, mistress. I'll pay you back sometime. Yes, thank you so much. You have no idea how grateful I am. Oh, don't mention it. I owe Dingo that much. That said, you can always repay me by coming back here to play, you know? Don't forget that. Hard emote. But yeah, Dingo would tell me stories about you two sometimes. The punk-ass brigand and the newbie reporter he had befriended. I do hope you're able to track down his notebook. If there's anyone out there he'd want to inherit it, I have to imagine it'll be you two. Thank you, we'll do our best. We're sure as hell gonna try. Be a waste to just let it go after... There would... Be a waste to just let it go after doing all this work for it. A taxi with a black and yellow checkered pattern. I know exactly which one that is. No idea Dingo was a regular in it. I see that car out by Central Station a lot. Driver's probably out for lunch right now, though. Let's check the food stalls first, see if we get lucky.
On my way.
That's fair.
It's a shame that that's the only place that has that music. Pretty fun. Yeah, same. But I guess you have to check the check the taxi first. That's the one. That's the checker pattern. That's gotta be it. That's the taxi. The driver's gotta be close. Let's sniff him out. Phew, love this place. Can't have real Eastern soba without the wasabi. How about it, brothers? Care to take a seat and throw one back with our boy? Here with your boy. Sorry, I'm gonna have to take a rain check on that. Got some stuff to do today.
Can we talk?
Oh, well, if it isn't a big boy with a cute girl hugging his arm. Never thought you'd ask me about that name and notebook. Wonders never cease, huh? Ah. Well, so we found our guy. So word is you were scratching Dingo's back every now and then. Yep, I may not look it, but I used to run all over the Republic taking odd jobs on the down low. I was on the smuggling run once, and bam, I bumped right into him. That's how we met. That must have been, 10 years ago? Dingo would have been around 20, I think. Alright. So, do you know how he got tangled up with Almada back then, too? Oh, my boy, do I ever. That was what led to him to ask me for help out of the city that day. I snuck him out just like that. He hopped on a bus for Kryl, and that was the last I saw of him. In retrospect, I shouldn't have done it. I shouldn't have let his dumbass do that. It wasn't your fault, Giordano. Don't beat yourself up over it. You weren't the one who killed him. It was Almada. Not even. Dantes owned that, the shitheel. You're right, yeah. I heard he got what was coming to him at the old capital. I bet Dingo's laughing up there. I'm happy karma came around for the bastard. I hope it makes him feel better. He really regretted being the guy's broker in his past. Dantes really wasn't the same guy once he took over. So that's his background, huh? Not trying to justify him, but Dantes used to have a good rep on the streets. He had a code and he stuck to it, and that let people trust him. No wonder he ended up so popular with how much everybody hated the head honcho before him. He got Dingo hook, line, and sinker. Dingo was his informant. I fed him info he needed to bring the old guy down. And now instead, we have this monster he built. A monster, huh? Fitting title for him. I'm not too privy to what happened beyond that, so I don't want to speculate. So you're looking for Dingo's old notebook, and you think I've got it. Dingo. Please, may I please have it? Well, I'd love to give it to you, but I'm afraid I can't. Why not? Was there something you wanted done first? What? Sorry, what? Pretty boy said it was for your eyes only? Well, he told me to keep an eye out for this brigand guy, the newbie reporter. If anything happened to him, he wanted me to give this here key to whichever of you two I bump into first. Coin locker key. Oh. So what is this key for? Looks like a key for a station coin locker, like you'd see around the subway. Spot on. He said he stashed it in the easiest locker he could find. I'm not sure what he meant by that, though. I have no idea which station it's at. Got it. The easiest locker he could find. What would that be? Oh, that about gives it away. Oh, could it be the one by Vance's office? Probably. Let's head on back and take a look. Thanks a bunch, Giordano. Maybe I'll make it up to you with a joyride one of these days. When I feel like it. Huh. Just call me anytime you're plastered and I'll be your DD. Your designated driver? Alright. I've never heard anyone abbreviate it. So back to Old Town?
Then let's head over.
I guess everyone's just hanging out here. I found some weird lines in Fio and Ceros' activity log. Evidently they started communicating with animals. I never expected them to develop those kinds of routines, but I'm interested to see what comes of it. It's kind of interesting. I guess for Ceros it makes sense, it's kind of a dog already. But Fio is also interacting with animals? That I can do laundry is already kind of wild. For a second I thought That was Maxim off the corner of my eye.
Right. What do I do?
The key we got from the driver probably goes to one of the coin lockers here. What do you say? Should we check what's inside? Gulp. Absolutely, I'm ready. Okay, let's head in. Acting like they're going to a dungeon. They found the one that corresponded with the key they held, finding a black leather notebook inside. Were they just testing them one at a time? The group then proceeded to move to a quiet location in order to inspect the contents. The good music. There's something, alright. I didn't get to talk to Dingo much, but I know for a fact that he was an outstanding man. Indeed, not just anyone could pursue Almada to the degree he did without backup. It was probably his way of making amends for the role he played in Dantes' rise to power. These notes mention how the previous boss's family was murdered too. Even they didn't get spared. That's horrible. Such a heavy burden for him to carry. But that wasn't his fault. He couldn't have known he couldn't have known that's what would happen. I can't imagine he felt like he could be in the public eye anymore after that. And that's why he took me under his wing, a good-for-nothing rookie. It appears he compiled quite a few notes about the ringleaders we took down in Racion as well. Yeah, let's take a look. Here's entries for every character. Viola, gender female, age 26. Oh, she's so old. What a hag! Originally from a minor noble family in the Cadiz region in the Central East, her family fell into bankruptcy after Cadiz's annexation by Valles. Viola herself being sold off to a wealthy merchant so they could make ends meet. He soon fell into the hands of a criminal organization that was targeting the merchant. Though initially nothing more than a plaything and object of pleasure, she eventually managed to oust the boss and wrestle control into her own hands. A brutal leadership reputation precedes her. When, 2 years later, the group tried to expand their influence into Calvard, they caught the attention of Almada. Conflict with them was brief, they were quickly obliterated by Dantes, to whom Viola swore loyalty afterwards. As a consequence of her turbulent past, she's incredibly dependent on Dantes, which might be the reason she harbors a fierce rivalry with her fellow Melchior, their position's equivalent within the organization. Though the body of her needle gun was produced by Sect Arms, the full piece is not a part of their official lineup. Further research regarding the origin of her weapon is needed. Alexander, gender, male, age 35. Gender, male, age 35. 1 foot in the grave. Born in the former Principality of North Ambria and northwestern Simuria, he was 5 years old when the Salt Pale appeared, sowing chaos in his homeland. Only 30 years ago, huh? Him and his father, then protectors of the ruling family, fled alongside Prince Balmund when he fled the country. Spent most of his childhood and adolescent years in the free city of Teslam. Trained by his father in the traditional military arts of their homeland, he served the former ruling family until the age of 25, though his life was soon thrown into chaos. His father and he were both ordered to retake North Ambria following the death of the Northern Jaeger's figurehead, the current ruler since Prince Balmund's escape. The Northern Jaegers were... Was Sarah Wallenstein one of them? I'm trying to remember. Or were they with Nidhogg? Were they the same organization? I forget. After their assault on North Ambria's capital, Alyask, they managed to seize and control the city for a time, acting as its effective government before being overthrown by the Northern Jaegers. This ensued a massacre of the remaining civilians in Alyask, mandated by the crazed former Prince Balmund. Standing in opposition with one another, Alexander and his father dueled to the death, Alexander emerging victorious before withdrawing from the battlefield. Though his current whereabouts are unknown, it is believed that Prince Balmund was swiftly and secretly executed by the Northern Jaegers, following his capture. Wandering from one corpse to another, Alexander was eventually scouted by Dantes himself, and brought into a leadership position within Almada. Though outwardly austere and restrained, he's merciless in combat, sparing none who dare cross him. Merciless in combat. Man, I'm struggling to read. I need to stretch a bit. His ultimate goal being the search for his final resting place, he has rejected any attempt at persuading him to leave Almada. Despite the mechanized gauntlets he wields not being part of their official lineup, it does appear that they were developed by Sect Arms. Olympia, gender female, age 25. Sorry, age 19. I don't know why I said 25. Little is known about her, although she allegedly hails from a remote village in eastern Sumeria. Rumors say the entire village was comprised of heretical puppeteers who worshipped a doll made in the image of an angel. Thought to be an artifact of some sort, the doll was looked after by a medium. The village's gruesome customs mandated that those close to the medium were to be offered as sacrifices. These sacrifices spared no one, not friends nor family, though soon tragedy befell the village, leaving Olympia and the doll alone to wander the continent after the demise of all they knew. Multiple records suggest instances of criminals being slaughtered when encroaching on the wandering pair. She was later inducted into the Gardens, the assassin organization, and made overseer of the Garden of Aurum, though it appears she's been mostly left to her own devices after being invited by the other overseers, these including Melchior and the Emperor. If I were to guess, the incident that took place in her village led to her and the angel developing a psychologically interdependent relationship, resulting in her autonomy and emotional expression diminishing. In light of the crisis that's made the Gardens join forces, she may have a chance to reclaim that lost capacity, albeit an incredibly slim one. Ariok, male, age over 150. In contrast to the known, confirmed leaders of Almada and Garden Overseers, eyewitness reports of him are few. What we do know of him, the Garden of Rust's Overseer, is that he's a very dangerous man, clad in heavy armor. Much of the information about him stretches belief, including how he was supposedly born in a different time period altogether, over 150 years ago. If he was, he's said to proceed from the mythical Holy Yiskan Empire, an enormous nation believed to have laid just across the Tian Shan and Ishkal Mountains, to Calvert's east. This empire is presumed to have vanished following a calamity 130 years ago. In its heyday, 9 groups served to protect the royal imperial line. Eastern sources indicate that he was a warrior who represented the Rahu, a tribe of white descent hailing from the west. I'm inclined to believe it's all bullshit, but in an age where immortals like the Lance Maiden can exist in Erebonia, I can't rule out the possibility of there being some truth to it either. Was the Lance Maiden's existence made publicly known, or, well, I guess Dingo kind of tried covering part of that thing. Whether it's true or not, evidence might suggest that his armor and his strangely shaped battle axe might be artifacts. Considering his joining the Gardens and the stories claiming his immortality, this might be highly likely. On top of that, he's the primary suspect regarding the Ice and Shield's annihilation in the outskirts of Kryl, but I still can't say that for a fact. More information is needed. Melchior, male, age 25. So why do I keep saying that? Age 21. One of Almada's 3 pillars, and quite possibly its most evil and sinister member. He doubles down as the Garden's ringleader, an overseer of the Garden of Thorns. Melchior's skills don't fall behind any of his artifact-wielding peers, being highly skilled in the use of the Orbal Net and being capable of infinitely spawning and freely controlling explosives. Where do they come from? Is he just pulling them out of their ass? Out of his ass? Oh god. Beyond that, he also acts as Almada's main strategist, and Dante's right-hand man and confidant, and possibly his lover. Though his past is shrouded in mystery, his origins might trace back to the same organization the Oathbreaker, one of Ouroboros' Anguis, also comes from. The Order of the Moonlight Horse existed since the Middle Ages, but the Oathbreaker sat among its top brass for the longest time, before losing to Ouroboros and switching sides. It's an entirely different matter, and a major thread all of its own. Wrapping this back around, Melchior might have been a direct subordinate to the Oathbreaker, before going on to take in the scattered remnants of that infamous cult. If that's true, that would make him something of a prince of the underworld. For someone as powerful as him to idolize Dantes so much is nothing short of ominous and concerning, to say the least. Another thing that concerns me is him staying in Krau's vicinity following the ancient shields turning into ghouls. Krau's not just some sleepy village with beautiful vistas. More than a touristic spot, it lies stuck between several forces working from the shadows. It also happened to be one of the few places in northern Calvard with a sizable eastern and central eastern population. Knowing the source of Almada's financing, actually, I'd rather not speculate any further. He's already expecting that someone might show up to explode the place. Gerard Dantes, gender male, age 34. I almost said 5 again. I don't know what's up with me and 25 right now. I let my feelings take way. Dantes could fill every page in this notebook. There's not a night where I'm not overcome with regret. But this notebook is not meant for my personal thoughts. Most things I've come to learn about him and his life are at least a little eyebrow raising. Him being a member of the DG cult before joining Almada. Being related to Calvard's old royal family. Perhaps even being a direct descendant. The tales of his sword are equally as hard to believe, a gigantic blade of black and silver, thought to be an artifact hidden by the royal family. This demon blade was the instrument with which he slew Enrique, Almada's previous head. Hard as these tales are to believe, their true purpose is to strike fear into the hearts of those who hear them. To make Dantes nothing short of the living manifestation of shadows and agony. Deep as the abyss and equally as alluring, its unquenchable thirst for fear is what draws many to him. Seductive and enchanting, it has earned him many loyal followers. But where does such unfathomable hunger come from? A new hypothesis surfaced recently, which might finally explain things. Its source, however, is a little unusual, and I'm not particularly keen to take it at face value. But that's neither here nor there. The more pressing matter is his goal and vassal, and that him and the others might have been after something else. His true goal, I imagine, fear. The want and need to bring about true dread and terror up to the masses. He wasn't able to achieve it, even with the help of a genius, but that will not put a stop to him. He will stop at nothing to achieve his mission. Looking into this matter should take priority. Regardless, he sure managed to pull a fast one on me in Tharbad. I was distracted by that call, but that's no excuse. I should have seen through much sooner than I did. Try as he might to stay one step ahead, I'll forever be hot on his heels.
At this point, I've worked out how I'm going to get everything recorded, as well as how to leave these notes behind. Now comes the real showdown with him. It's going to be the biggest gamble I make as both a reporter and an information dealer. If, by some sheer miracle, I make it back in one piece, I'll absolutely be following up on those theories I've written about. I can already imagine the hell I'm in for with that dope of a Spriggan and that cub reporter. I really do worry about her. But you know what? At the end of the day, that's just part of the fun.
Dingo. Dingo!
You dumbass. Who's the real dope between us, huh?
Dude was totally nuts. How the hell did he find it in him to go that far? I can only imagine his love and care for others spurring him on to gather this much information. He was both a clever and kind man. And he wasn't just trying to make amends or settle a score. I don't doubt he genuinely worried for everyone's future. It goes without saying, but it's a true shame. He was taken from us far too young. I'm so glad you two were able to find his notes. Likewise, it must have been the will of the goddess. Drove Mariel back to the Trail of Times. Let Cunning know. Then we went back to work. As for Dingo's notes, once the contents were copied, it was decided that Mariel would hold on to the originals for safekeeping.
All in a day's work.
Love to see it.
Reward deposited.
There wasn't much of a will over there, but I guess he left us some information. Most of which we already knew, since every single boss decided to give us their whole life story before fighting them. Hey, level 4. There was a hint about Dantes going after something else in... No, I guess they were talking about Basil. Never mind. He was looking for fear, for the nuclear weapons to cause dread. To unite the world in dread. Okay. We got the last spawn point. Sorry, not the bond point. The free time slot. So now we can pick and choose what to do here. We can max 4 people right now. Like, I'm very curious about this one, but I don't know how many points it's going to give. Also don't know if we can get enough points to max Ren out. Did I just ignore Yume? I think we've gotten all gifts we can give her, though. I think we've gotten all gifts we can give everyone. Alright, I'll figure it out in a moment. I need to go to the restroom. So take the chance to take a break, stretch, or go to the restroom with me. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Hopefully it wasn't too loud. Ugh. Okay. I do want to max out the ones that we can obviously max right away. And also, this one is a little spooky because I don't know if we can max her out. Maybe there was a movie I was supposed to watch with her at some point, and that's why it's not not full. But we can definitely get V and Jack and Hall. Let's save before we start doing this. I'll probably save for the last one and just do the one I don't mean to do and then pick the next one. The one that we want to keep. Dance group took a break. There he is. Looks like Jack's got business with Imai. Hey, this isn't what you promised, old man. Promised? Now, I'm sorry, but I haven't the foggiest idea what you're talking about. I never promised you anything, you see. What's up? Got a problem? Oh, hey, Van. You actually came, huh? Yeah, was just a little concerned about you, that's all. So, what happened? I asked this guy to reserve a certain 10 Mira coin for me on the off chance he came across it, so I could buy it off him. But instead he went behind my back and pawned it off to somebody else. A 10 Mira coin? Well, Scuddy's so worked up over it. That's what we in the business call an error coin, a misprint, if you will. Not only are the portrait and text flipped, but the copper is the wrong color too. It has this light silver hue to it. These little mistakes are 1 in 10,000, if not rare. 30,000 Mira per coin is quite common. But that's not all that can inflate the value of these, no sir. Owner history plays a part too. And a previous owner as infamous as this coins can bump the value up even higher. 50,000 by my estimate. Damn, 50,000 Mira for a little coin? Must have had one hell of a past to command that kind of money. You're damn right it did. I take it you know about my mentor and my greatest rival. Of course I do. The king himself, ain't it? Hal's own old man. Right. Then you probably know that he's not around anymore. There's a reason for that. I was a dumb little shit when I was younger. My cocky ass got him killed. Damn, dude. I'm sorry. Didn't mean to dig up all that baggage. Well, now you know. Anyway, I'm sure you've put 2 and 2 together. The lady walked in, then out of the screen. That coin we're arguing over used to belong to him. After he died, the coin disappeared. I had no idea where it went, at least until yours truly happened upon it. Jack offered 100,000 Mira for that little coin, and at the time I was more than happy to give it to him. Unfortunately, another customer beat him to the punch with a 100,005 Mira offer. 105,000 Mira offer. Poor Jack was just minutes too late. It really was nothing personal. I was just doing as a businessman does, and taking the better offer. Oh, give me a break. If you'd just told me somebody had put in a counter offer, I would have put up more money too. But it's a little odd that he didn't do that this time. I know just how much you like to ring people for every Mira they're worth. So who's the moneybags who ran off with the coin? Huh. Well, if you want to know, you'll have to go straight to the source. As it so happens, the buyer left a note to pass on to Jack. It says quite plainly, if you'd like the coin back, come to Kayonj. Great, you couldn't just sell the damn coin to them. You had to help them antagonize me too. Thanks, Yumai. Every now and again, someone comes out of the woodwork trying to pick a fight with me. Who's got it out for me this time, though? I haven't a clue. Yeah, I remember the pair of cheaters you had to deal with in Langport when we were in town. Sure ain't easy being famous, huh? You heading over right now then? I think I'll tag along to see how it goes down. Sure, go ahead. I don't mind the company. I just remember that I forgot to read the newspaper for this chapter. What are you doing here? Yeah, I figured it would be Hal. What do you think I'm here? It's because I'm the one who bought the coin. I figured it was possible I might run into you. And now here you are, I guess. Yep, here I am. Good to see you, Van. I was originally planning on having Mao officiate our little game. But if you're here, I'd be more than happy to have you do it, if you don't mind. A little game. Sure, I can do that. Bit of a roundabout way to challenge someone to a game, though, don't you think? Yeah, but unless I go to that much trouble, Jack won't take it Jack won't take it as seriously as he should. So just to reiterate, Jack, I want to play a game of poker with you. Winner keeps King's coin. Sound good to you? I'm game. You're on. You think you have any chance of winning against me? Do you really need to ask, Jack? You're right. My bad. That was dumb. Alright, now with that settled, I'll have you hold on to the coin, Van. Every round, you'll flip that bad boy to determine who goes first. If it's heads, I go first. Tails, Jack goes first. Looks like I'm being given a big responsibility running this match. I'll do my best to make you guys proud. I'm sure you'll do just fine, Van. We appreciate having you. Well, may the best hand win. Let's get down to business. Let's get down to business. Sorry, that just always comes to mind whenever I hear that. Jack and Hal's game got underway as Van watched the proceedings unfold. After the pair exchanged 100,000 mira for 10 poker chips, they began to trade blows with each hand of cards. Once the match fully heated up, all of the remaining chips were put on the line in a dramatic showdown. You've really stepped up your game, Hal. I'm impressed. Truth be told, I didn't expect you to even last this long. Save it for when you win, Jack. This game ain't over until it's over. You got that right. Sheesh, you two are freaking nuts. Not so many in Simuria who can read each other's hands and bluff the way you can. Looks like this next hand's gonna be our grand finale. Sure seems like it. Keep up the good work, Van. It doesn't matter who goes first. Either way, your fate's already set. Well, here goes nothing. Moment of truth. Which hand should I catch the coin with? It's tails. Your move, Jack. Damn, I'm gonna go first, huh? If that's the way it's going to be, I'll exchange 2 cards. Oh, were you thinking of trying that on me? No wonder you're disappointed. It's definitely better to go second in that case. Hal's got 4 kings. What do you got, Jack? I get it now. You must have mastered King's technique to play like that. Four of a kind for Jack. What's going on? Did Hal set this all up? Sure did. King's whole specialty back in the day was taking control of the cards, including his opponent's own hand. You played well, Hal. Ain't nothing to it. Wait. There's still 1 card you haven't opened. What could you possibly still have left? The game should be over. Hey brothers, how are you doing? Not if I've got a wild card here in my hand. That's exactly what I have. A 5 of a kind with jacks. Read him and weep. Sorry, Hal. I win. What the? I'm not sure I follow you guys. Did he somehow use Hal's own move against her? More or less, yeah. No way. How? How is that possible? I can wonder all I like, but at the end of the day, they call you Victory Jack for a reason. I lost and that's all there is to it. So time for me to pay the piper, I suppose. The coin's all yours, Jack. Here you are, Jack. Good game. Thanks. That was a fun one, to say the least. I kinda hate this music for this, actually. Kind of annoying. I think it's the casino music, but... Nah. There's one more thing we need to settle before we head on out. Hal, I bought the coin for you, you weirdo. Huh? Jack, what are you doing? We agreed that whoever won gets to keep the coin. You earned it. You shouldn't give it back to me. In fact, I want you to have it. There's nobody else I'd rather see it than with you. Or see it with than with you. Seriously, take it. It's okay. Oh, I get it now. That whole match was just a setup for her to give the coin to him all along, wasn't it? Sorry, Hal, but I can't let you have your way on this one. If that coin was mine, then it'd be up to me to decide what to do with it. But if you're that determined to hoist the thing on me anyway, then there's only one thing you can do. Play you again and win. That's right, that's how these things work in our world. Fine, if that's how you're gonna be, you're on. I'll keep improving my skills, and then one of these days I'll beat you when you're playing your absolute hardest. Until then, you'd better not lose to anybody else but me or your own... Sorry. I'm having trouble reading, I'm just struggling for some reason, struggling real hard. There's been too much reading this stream, but I've been struggling since I started it. Until then, you'd better not lose to anybody else but me or your ass is grass. What? Deal? Deal. You won't find another pair of gamblers like these anywhere else in Simuria. I'm glad I got to see this little exchange today. That was neat. I may stop reading these, honestly.
We should get some drinks and have another heated round of cards soon.
Maybe I'll crack open the good stuff for you when you do.
Just try not to drink yourself stupid, Jack.
The unrivaled gambler pair. See victory dice. Anyway, how are you doing tonight, Brayless?
Right.
Playing anything on the side or just hanging out for the night? I don't think Automod picked up anything. Would have told me. I don't know. I don't know if that kills it. I don't know if like Twitch itself can kill stuff without being tied to Automod. You have successfully chosen the 1 in 10 chance to instantly kill yourself 3 times in a row. Is there like a boss with an instant death mechanic or some stuff? You should go gambling. Bonus minigame. You should roll in the gacha right now. 9 mil chest, 1 mimic. Oh, I'm sorry, dude. Do you have to spend anything important for it? It probably takes some kind of currency, but you're not just doing it all over and over again. By a month. Okay, so it's like really... I gotcha. It's going well. Basically what I put in the title is where we're at. We're just doing side quests right now. And yeah, since the beginning of the chapter, there's a lot of stuff to read, and some of it is less interesting than other stuff. And also, for some reason, I'm having trouble reading coherently. I keep stuttering and just running out of breath. I guess I'm just tired. What did I want to do? I want to take a quick break by just reading the news. I completely forgot about this one. Okay, organization behind Kryl Village incident crushed. We killed the guys with the nukes. Let me just read real quick. I'm not gonna read the whole thing because it's a little dense. I'm just giving some background on how Almada got the nukes. Also involved in the bombing of the Vashtar Palace. Almada's leader was caught in the collapse of the ruins, or rather he got stabbed by us, but that's fine. Revolution Festival to be held on schedule. Okay, the characters have been talking about this. Probably something's going to happen in the middle of this festival and we'll have the actual final chapter of the game. They're gonna unveil some weapons. They're gonna unveil the new mechs. Like the ones from Cold Steel, but from Calvard instead. Sleeker. More futuristic. Heads of major Oración corporations taking in a string of arrests. Elaine arrested her dad. And all that fun stuff. Yeah, Edmond Auclair, CEO of the Quincy Company, is the father of Calvard A-rank bracer Elaine Auclair. Become a topic of conversation. Auclair attempted to resign her position as a bracer, but wasn't allowed. We're getting loads of letters every day expressing support for Elaine and the way she is facing up to the crimes her father committed. Oh, nice. Special feature, spotlight on Edith 3rd Street. I don't know what this is, but okay. Have we even been allowed to this location? I'm not sure. Oh well. Looks like it's where the festival will happen. Okay, let's go do another connection / bond event.
What's next?
Now, the question is which one? I guess let's do Fee, since we're gonna max her out. Mending Ida's belongings. Yo, sorry for the wait. Don't worry about it. I just got here myself. Thanks for coming. Think nothing of it. Seems this has to do with one of my part-timers, so I figured I might as well help. You want me to help out with a memento of the flame eaters, right? Yep, I want to fix up the custom rifle that Ida used to use. Seems like you've heard about it already. Sure have. We tried to get it repaired before, but they told us it wasn't really feasible. I assume the two of you found a way to fix it. Bingo. We learned what parts we need to repair it. All that's left is to actually get them. It's been bothering me ever since I learned it was damaged, so I'm glad I can finally do something. I figure things will get really busy once the festival starts, so I want to get it taken care of before then. Freddy's working on the stuff that can be gathered above ground. We're gonna be getting the underground stuff from the Blacklight District, in other words. You want me to show you around the place? Exactly. I've heard that nose of yours is really impressive. So impressive that even Sin relies on it. How about it? You up for being my guide? Sure, why not? Couldn't hurt putting you in my debt more. I'd be glad helping one of my part-timers move on too. Sounds like a win-win to me. Thanks. Let's get moving then. I got the good music again. You're looking to fix up a custom rifle, eh? Not to discourage you fine folks, but that sounds like quite the pain in the behind. We know, and we're prepared to deal with it. As you can probably guess, we need some specialized parts to get it back in working condition. Mind showing us the rifle suppressors and foregrips you've got in stock at the moment? Not at all. Right this way, young lady. Hopefully I've got what you're looking for. He's definitely got a wide selection, but... none of it looks quite right. What about this part over here? Looks pretty unwieldy, but nothing any decent Jaeger couldn't handle. Yeah, maybe. That might actually be the same model Ida used, or the same make at least. This might work in a pinch. Might as well give it a shot. Working on Flame Eater's rifle, huh? I've heard stories about that bad boy. You're in luck. I know for a fact that the rifle I used back when I was on active duty is the same generation as her gun. You can go ahead and take it if you want. It should have a part or two you can use. Damn, that's real generous of you. For real, are you sure? I mean, that has to mean a lot to you. I'm no Jaeger anymore, so I don't mind parting with it. Helping the Colonel's daughter sounds better to me anyway. In return, just promise you'll come back and tell me how the Purple Lightning's doing. I've been rooting for her ever since she hung it up to walk her own path. Let me know how she's holding up, yeah? Deal. Can't say I know everything, but I'll be happy to share what I can. Eventually, Fee and Van managed to scrape together the needed parts to repair the gun, albeit from a from a less than desirable mix of sources. With Fairy having acquired her allotted parts, the group reconvened at the arms dealer inside the department store. You just got arms dealer in the shopping mall. Sylvie, who had been previously consulted about the rifle's damages, agreed to assist with its repairs. Ben watched over the whole process and helped with basic tasks like polishing as needed. Eventually, have laser gun. Well, would you look at that? It's right back to the way it was. Ain't that something? It even has the same custom rifle muzzle she used back in her Zephyr days. It maximized its firepower and improved its accuracy. She really liked talking about that thing. I can see why. It's been customized in other ways too. The weight distribution probably makes it unwieldy to anyone who isn't a rifle pro. But Ida had no problem handling it. She and this rifle were a match made in heaven. No doubt about that. I'm glad we were able to get it fixed up for her. Huh. The Flame Eater couldn't have asked for a better pair of sisters. So, what are you planning to do with it now? That's a good question. How would you feel about using it, Fairy? I don't think a rifle of this size would suit me, to be honest. Ida once told me to remain true to my own style. I don't think I'd be honoring her if I changed mine to adapt to her weapon. Figured you'd say something like that. It doesn't fit mine either. I have a better idea. How about we deliver it to the current members of Zephyr? Ah, yeah. I heard they reformed after the war. Yep, it's changed hands since then. Now it's being led by two of its former regimental commanders, Zeno and Leo. I'm fine with giving it over to them, but are you sure that's what you want? Yeah, I've thought long and hard about it. In her final moments, Ida said the names of her Zephyr comrades, including you. I can tell she treasured her family there. That's why I want to return it to them. Okay, that works for me. I'll go ahead and arrange for it to be delivered then. Oh, how are you gonna do that? You do realize a civilian courier can't just waltz into Zephyr turf with a rifle in hand, right? Well aware, that's not what I had in mind. I know someone named Josette who owns a delivery company. Her people should be able to get it over to them without much trouble. Bring over Josette from... Well, I guess she also showed up a lot in Cold Steel. I was gonna say from Sky. I have heard of them. They're based in Liberal, yeah? You sure know a lot of people. You sure know a lot of people, don't you? I could say the same about you. It won't be long before it's delivered, so can you stick around your base camp for a while longer? Sure thing. We have to kill some time before our next job anyway. A Jaeger's weapon is their very soul. We'll take good care of it. The three of us fought side by side many times as regimental commanders. She's dearly missed. The Ice and Shield told us about what happened to her. It's strange to think a part of her will be coming back to us. I'd like to think she's sharing a laugh and a drink with the boss on the other side right about now. Probably stressing all about her little sisters too, the worry wart. Wouldn't shock me. It was good talking to you both again. See you around. Likewise, give our regards to Ida's other little sister. Sounds like she's gotten herself caught up in something fishy. Tell her to take care of herself. Well, that settles that. You must be one of the only bracers in the guild who keeps in touch with Jaegers. We don't talk that often, but they reach out to me every now and then. Now that we've got this squared away, I think I'm gonna drop by a cafe. Wanna come with? I'm gonna share some stories about Ida and Zephyr if you're interested. Really? Oh, I'd love that. They can tell you some about my people in our village. Cool, I'd like to hear all about them. He and Fairy went off to enjoy some tea and conversation.
It'd be nice to introduce you to some friends of mine if the chance ever comes up.
There we go. The young Ace's inherited will. Sylphid feather. I'm gonna have to check those accessories later to see if they're worth using. Okay, now it gets a bit weird. Which one should I do next? We can't do all of them. Red has 40 points, which makes me wonder if I can max it out with a gift or a movie event, but I think I've given her all the gifts she has in the game. There's also Nina, that I'm not sure if you can max in this walkthrough. I feel like I've already missed my chance. That said, I have done all her hangouts, I'm pretty sure. So I'm not sure where that extra 50 comes from. I'm also worried she's secretly gonna be an antagonist, but I don't know, we'll see. I can probably just skip UMass. I don't particularly care about her hangout things. This is the real me. The one you don't know. The one I don't want you to know. But No, this isn't right. I'm missing something. Hey there, thought about taking a break? Mr. Arkwright, what are you doing here? Like, Arkwright, son? Your director sent me. Out in a monster-infested forest, practicing. There's an actress I've been working with whose work I'd like your opinion on, if that's okay. Ever since I offered her the part, she's been immersed in the role, almost to a scary degree. I was originally going to ask Judith for help here, but it might be a bad idea if I did it, since I'm not involved with the film's production at all. I know you're pretty tight-lipped, so I said why not? So, you gonna help? I guess they were both really worried about me. We recently filmed one of the most important scenes in my next film, you see. The director said my final cut was fine, so we're ready to move on. I'm still not happy with it. I still feel like I can do better, so I asked him to let me shoot again after I rehearsed it some more. That's why we're here, all alone. It sounded like a long monologue. Surprised it's giving you so much trouble. I think it's because I've been rehearsing it alone. I meant to look at someone during the actual scene, and it's hard when I don't have anyone. Oh, I know. Would you be willing to act as my partner while I practice? Me? Didn't see that one coming. But I know that even if I said no, you ain't leaving till it's perfect. But are you sure you want to ask me? I ain't exactly an experienced actor. That's alright. Because you being here will make a world of difference. Alright, I got time to spare, so give it your best shot. Just don't go expecting nothing a sack of flour couldn't do better. Thank you. With Van as her partner, Nina continued practicing the problematic scene over and over. But in the end, she still wasn't able to come up with a take she was happy with. Handcuff. How about a break? This is your job and all, but you're gonna burn yourself out if you keep at it non-stop. I'm so sorry. It feels like I've just been wasting your time here. I should have known I couldn't handle this like Judith does. What's she got to do with this? You guys are very different kinds of actresses, yeah? People always talk about how I embody the characters I act so naturally. It's like I'm possessed by them. You might be able to put a positive spin on it, but what those words mean at the end of the day is that my acting has no real soul of its own. That's a bit harsh. But it's the truth. Judith's acting is just so full of heart and soul. Every one of her roles has an identity that's uniquely hers. Not to say that she's not doing a good job of portraying the role, of course. I don't mean that. She maintains the role's integrity, but she always puts part of her into it. She takes to every role in a way that's uniquely hers. That's her greatest appeal as an actress, if you ask me. I see it, yeah. But I just can't do that. I don't have her strength of spirit, and I never will, because I'm empty. All I can do is act the role I'm given. That's all I can ever do. It's this kind of talk that makes me wonder if she's just gonna be... By the way, the role of actress was just another thing, and I also have the role of supervillain or something like that. All of a sudden. She's just a bummer all around. She's extremely transparent while acting, so much so that you might see right through her, and her hollow acting. I remember reading that in a magazine after your debut film aired. You have a good memory. You know that's just because someone said... Or you know that just because someone said that doesn't mean it's true, right? If that's how people see you, then that's a talent you should take in stride. But you can call my acting skills whatever you want, but the truth is I'll never measure up to Judith. And that might be your problem right there. If you really think there's nothing in there, then that's all the more space to start filling in. There's still plenty of time for you to create the identity you think you're lacking. You got a lot of material to take inspiration from. What do you mean? You're well known for not taking a... You're well known for not just taking a script and listening to it to a T. You always take it a step further. You wrap yourself in the role and let it become who you are. You think and act like the characters should. Or like the characters would. It's not something you just up and forget. Or do their lives and experiences just vanish from your head after you stop playing the role? No, they don't. I remember everything. I remember the warmth of being in Ron's arms as Michelle in Wolf's Requiem. I still remember how reassuring it was to have my friends and companions at my side in Gloria as Sheena Dirk. Yeah, I thought so. You remember all of that so clearly. And that's not something just everyone can do, not even Judith. Those voices, those feelings are just as much a part of you. You ain't empty. But don't let them overwhelm you either. You gotta listen to what you want too. And I might get shit for saying this, but to hell with the script. I think this should be more important to you. This is something that only you can do. I never even considered disregarding my lines. That might actually be a good idea. Do you mind if I try the scene one more time? I'm just gonna make my own shit up. Let's start from the very beginning this time. Yeah, sure, wait, already? And so they resume their acting. Every attempt to find the scene further, and Nina could feel the pleasant and satisfying exhaustion wash over her. Eventually...
This is the real me. The one you don't know. The one I don't want you to know. But I can't run anymore. Not if I'm going to stay true to myself.
What the fuck? They even logged in boxes and shit. How long have you been all here? Sorry, how long have y'all been there? Wait, were you filming this? Don't worry, we're only filming Nina. It was that was spectacular, Nina. I know I approved our previous take, but this was significantly better. You went off script a little, but that doesn't matter when I could feel you and your character's soul so perfectly in your delivery. Thank you, director. Alright everyone, let's skip this momentum and get back to shooting. Of course. That's taken care of. How did no one notice them? It's a relief. It feels like I finally saw a side of myself I'd never faced before. Thank you so much for your help.
That was invigorating.
I'm still afraid she's
You
gonna
should keep
turn
an eye out
around
for my
and
next performance.
become an antagonist. There always has to be one in every Trails game. Okay, we only got one more, so I'm gonna do UMS first, and then I'm gonna reload and do runs. Ah! Yeah, sounds pretty serious. Must be tough getting old. Careful you don't throw out your back, Victor. Think about all the piggyback rides you'll be depriving your granddaughter of. Ugh, not happening. Grandpa, are you okay? I think you'd better take the day off, man. Are you nuts? I can't take time off over a few aches and pains. Not only do I have our regulars and reservations to handle, but today and tomorrow are inventory stocking days. Those are crucial. We also need to start making test batches for the Revolution Festival menu. Grandpa, you can rest. It's okay. Mommy and I can handle it. Oh, thank you, man. Just hearing those words makes your grandpa feel strong. Ah! I think that settles it. You need help in the kitchen today, period. Tell you what, if you think I'm up to the task, I'll take over the kitchen for a while. I can't do it all day, but it's the least I can do. You've been cooking a lot for me throughout the years. I don't recall you owing me for any of it, you punk. Very well, but I'm not going to abandon the kitchen. I don't like it, but you can help out during rush hour. I'm going to supervise your cooking, and don't expect me to go easy on you just because you're doing me a favor either, understand? Fair enough, you're joined your rules. Just tell me what to do, boss. Yay, thanks, Van. I'll help with the customers. You're cutting the cabbage wrong. Slice it more finely. Like this? No, even more. Like this? Now that's too fine. No, don't stir so fast. I thought you said you didn't want it to burn. Which is it? Both. Keep stirring it so it doesn't burn, but don't do it too fast. Once that's ready, go grab a bag of flour and a can of milk from the pantry. Hang in there, Van. You can do it. It's clear as day whose dish looks more appetizing. Sheesh, when did this become a competition, huh? You're the pro, of course yours is better. But I think my stuff holds its own just fine. The presentation's not too shabby, at least. You think so, huh? Don't get cocky, punk. You've still got a lot to learn. Isn't it the same model? Isn't it the same thing? We'll see about that. Let's taste them and find out. Good to see your back hasn't put a damper on your spirit, Victor. If I didn't know any better, I'd almost think you two were having some nice father and son bonding time. I'll have to take your word for it. Don't really know how that's supposed to look. Good thing he isn't my actual son, or I would have disowned him after all the trouble he's caused around here. Ay Dios, your old man really likes cracking the whip. Ay Dios mío. My arms are so sore, I ain't gonna be lifting anything heavier than my cipher today. You'll survive, Van. You're too young to be that worn out. Still, thanks for helping my dad today. It means a lot. It's not much, but here's a little something on the house. Oh damn, you didn't have to, but thanks, Paulette. My dad's really fired up after all that. He put extra effort into it, just for you. You didn't have to tell him that. Oh, really now? Well, I appreciate it. This'll hit the spot after an afternoon of backbreaking work in that kitchen. Even I have to admit when a good-for-nothing son has earned his keep. I speak from experience when I say this. A family can take on many forms. Maybe it only has one parent, or maybe no one in it is even related by blood. Point is, there's no right way to be a family. You get to define what your family is and which bonds you cherish. Oh, Van's part of the family. Couldn't have said it better myself. Careful though, I don't think I'm the only potential son in the picture. Like hell, Gehenna will freeze over before I'll count that two-timing scumbag as one of my own. I never named any names. I can only imagine who you two might be talking about. Grandpa's right, you and me are family. I'll always be with you, Van, I promise. You sure can melt a grown-up's heart, but you should be real careful making promises like that at that age. But thanks, Humes. It means a lot. Don't care what you think. If you disappoint my sweet, innocent granddaughter, you're going to be in for a world of pain, you brat. What he really means to say is take care of yourself, Van. He worries you might be overdoing it at your job sometimes. Paulette, you could have kept that part to yourself. I hear you. I'll be careful out there.
Remember, Van, Mommy, Grandpa, and me are always rooting for you.
Oh, that's cute. A family called Montmartre. But specifically Van's HP that goes up from that. Okay, we're gonna reload though, because I want to keep friends. I don't think we get to keep that across saves, though. Well, we'll get it again in a second. That was a cute one, though. I guess Van would be Paulette's sister, and Hume's his niece. Is the right word. No one needs to spoil. Spriggan requests address towards both you and I. Something stinks real bad about this one, but I don't think it's just a prank either. Thoughts? I can handle it myself if you'd like. That's fine, I'll lend you a hand. We've quite a few shared acquaintances after all. It's worth looking into. So, what is the request about? A retrieval. Something's been smuggled into the city via the underground, and we're supposed to go get it. The route there is pretty convoluted, and it looks like shit's been encrypted over and over a few times. Not gonna lie, this might be a little bit out of my depth. Lucky for you that I'm here. We both are perfectly suited for this matter, so let's cooperate and get to the bottom of this. Ryan and Ren decoded the Forest PG. They continued gathering clues afterwards from the OrbitalNet and the Underworld. Eventually, the trail led them to an attaché case. Why can I not hear that word without thinking of Resident Evil? This must be what we're looking for. That was some tricky shit to figure out. They definitely didn't cut us any slack. I'll say, we had to follow the thinnest threads we could find just to get here. I'm so glad it happened off-screen. Had we not teamed up, this whole search would probably be dead in the water. They must have trusted us to find it in the end, though, if it was here after all. Well, let's crack it open and see what's inside. Nani? Writing utensils and painting supplies. What the hell's this stuff for? There's nothing weird about any of them. Just normal-ass pencils. I don't get it. Oh, it looks like we've also got these letters here. They're addressed to the both of us. No sender listed, but I can only think of one. Right, Grandpa George, beyond a doubt. Oh. Dear Ren, I realize I'm more than 6 months late. Before I say anything else, I want to congratulate you on your acceptance into Aramis. Time really does fly fast, doesn't it? It feels like it was only yesterday that you enrolled at Genis. You've always had that impeccable talent and appetite for learning, from your studies to your papers, and everywhere in between. You may have felt at first that there was no point returning to ordinary schooling. It was a waste of time for a mind of your caliber. But there are some things you can only learn and experience in those commonplaces. I suspect you've come to realize that yourself. Now that you have a place in this world to call your own, it's good to spread your wings and spend time away from your friends and family. Although I only looked after you for a short period, I pray that you find happiness wherever your travels take you. Sincerely, Grandpa George. Yes, thank you for taking care of those kids and tidying up the workshop during your visit a year and a half ago. I greatly appreciate it. I didn't know what to get you to celebrate your admission, so I simply picked up some safe bets for a student your age. If you have no use for them, feel free to throw them out. I'll hardly be hurt. Oh, don't be like that, Grandpa. I could never throw these things away. He's still as he ever was, awkward and clumsy outside of his doll making. And I wouldn't have it any other way. Alright, let's see what he's got to say to me next. To Mr. Van Arkwright. It goes without saying that you and I have done much for each other over the years. I won't dwell on that ancient history. All that off-screen stuff that happened. Before the crossbow game, I think. Or afterwards. But if I can offer one piece of advice to you, do not avert your eyes from the spirit you have within. What? Beyond that, please continue to guide and protect my granddaughter. Like, I'm really hoping they're not going for another curse shit, like with Reem. I guess we technically do have a devil trigger. I trust that you're looking out for her while she's in your periphery. Did you really have to write that last part? I'm not used to seeing him be so protective. Hard to blame the guy. He ain't seen you in years. Cut him a little slack. At least it's not you he's being nosy with anyway. Or not just you. What did he mean by your spirit within, though? That's an intriguing line. Don't worry about it, it reviewed poorly. Beats me. No idea what he was talking about, but that's par for the course with him. I mean, you know how he is. Guy just sees everything differently. One hell of a grandpa you've got there, you know that? People say his dolls are beyond lifelike. They even have their own hearts and souls. Maybe that power lets him take a look inside other people's hearts all the time. Or all the same. You could be onto something. It wouldn't hurt to keep what he wrote to you in mind, whatever it turns out to mean. Maybe, yeah. So where's that old fart anyway? Any idea where he is, what he's up to these days? Maybe that quote-unquote spirit within is what goes into Mare, the Holo, when the whole thing with the Genesis happens. And that's what lets him bear the nightmare into his devil trigger. The problem is, where did that come from? Did someone shove like a cursed item on him, into him as well? Please don't do that twice in a row. No one knows where he is. He may very well have slipped back to his workshop in Crossbow by now. Perhaps he's abandoned it and set up shop somewhere else entirely. It's so hard to tell with him. My master was like that too. Maybe being all cryptic and shit is just part of getting old. Maybe so. I'm happy to have heard from him at least. Thanks for bringing me along, Van. I'll have to return the favor one of these days. Hey, take it down a notch. You play with fire, you might get burned. Oh, you think I'm still some little girl, do you? I'll be all grown up before you know it. In many ways, I already am. At least enough for me to reach out and lend you a hand when you need it most. Just like you did for me all those years ago. Sheesh, the old man's right. This girl's growing up fast. Too fast, if you ask me. Sure, I'll ring you up if you really need a hand. Or if I really need a hand. Vanisor ran back to her dormitory and left the attaché case in her care. With that, the two went their separate ways. And just like that, it was back to the usual business.
I'll invite you to a tea party sometime. I do so enjoy being a good hostess.
A superior lady. Extra arts attack for Van. Okay. And then from here, it's main story time, I guess. I think we just have to deal with a bunch of conversations, but we're also kind of getting close to the time I usually end the stream. Let's try to do a one or two, and we'll leave the rest for next time.
Off we go!
With luck, some of them will be voiced. And I won't have to read them.
Well, if it isn't Van.
Hello. Working hard as usual, I see. The incident with A is still making waves. All of my sources are still abuzz talking about it. Got any juicy info you wouldn't mind sharing? Of course I do. There's still some of A's gangsters out and about. It's quite concerning, knowing we have some stragglers laying low in the capital. Yeah, it worries me too. Not Melchior, not worth the time. We should still keep an eye out, just in case we come across any information regarding their whereabouts. As long as it doesn't get in the way of everything else we're doing, it sounds good to me. That was that. Is there anyone else in this part of town? Oh my god, how do we open the small map? Yeah, we got something up north.
Now then.
Wait, wrong way. Oh, it's Sarah and Shahina.
Goddess Arusha.
Hi, guys. It's Sarah and Shahina. I see Sylphid's with you, too. Acquaintances of yours? We met each other back in Tharbad. Nice to see you. It's been a while. What brings you guys here? We bumped into each other in town, so I'm showing them around. We have a guest role in Director Gotti's new film. We were invited to come here. We'll be in Director Gotti's next film? Congratulations! Be careful with that perv. Don't let him goad you into doing some skeevy scene or event. Don't worry, Nina and I are keeping an eye on him to make sure he won't try anything funny. Thank you for doing that. Actually, we're on our way to your office to say hi, Van. You got ahead of us there. If you have the time, feel free to stop by for a visit anytime. I'm usually free during the day. We'll be staying until the Revolution Festival, so I'm sure we'll have a chance to visit. We'll get out our reserve of special special snacks for you. You mean my reserve? The ones I save for myself? Oh, you were saving those? Whoops, I had them all up already. Son of a... I guess it's just telling us which characters are in the city right now.
Okay.
On my way.
I know where the guild can help.
Department store.
In the Weston Department Store. Our stores have a wide variety of fine goods for sale.
Oh. That's a lot of people we know. From other places. Oh, look who it is. I haven't seen you all since you were in Tharbad. We weren't expecting to run into you here either, Director. I see Judith is with you too. Things just kind of worked out like that. How come you're with Lieutenant Kayla? Government asked yours truly to help with the ceremony's production. Makes sense. You did do a good job with the film festival planning, catastrophes notwithstanding. Don't act like you didn't help at all there. I could do without a do-over from the last festival. Please don't jinx it. I wouldn't worry too much. You're more than aware of the fact that we're finally rid of A. The odds of anything major happening are low at best. It's almost guaranteed that something's gonna happen. It's not improbable that there are remnants still out there, so security is still just as tight. As a precaution. You're here to discuss unit placement then? That's right. The meeting's with us more than anything. We met you guys at Basel. It's good to see you again too. Esmeralda and I forgot the other guy's name. We're helping set up all the equipment for the ceremony. Oh yeah. Y'all are showing off some new stuff, right? Must be pretty busy then. They're showing off the mechs. Running in work, more like. This isn't even my specialty, but here I am, slaving away. So your sympathy does soothe the pain, Van. You don't mind if I call you Van, right? Of course not. Good. You can call me Essie just like Katra does if you want. That I'm gonna pass on. It gets real casual real quick. Is that smartass professor gonna be at the unveiling? He'll be at the ceremony, but not much else. He's got his hands more than full with another project right now. Professor Hamilton will be there too. Esmeralda, Kayla, mind hearing me out here? Oh? What about? You two are bursting at the seams with sex appeal. There's this Pisaccia. It's everything I could have hoped for, and more! What do you say we chase new heights of sexiness to get? I am far too busy to even consider the proposition. That's not a field I have much interest in, I'm afraid. What? Is Judith all I have left? Hey, I don't remember agreeing to your nonsense. Same as always. God, he's just doing his thing. It's a special occasion, so we should dial up the sex appeal. Let's everyone get naked right now! Come on, Judith, just picture everyone's jaws dropping the second you walk in, wearing some really erotic clothes. Yeah, not happening. I mean, you do that all the time, though. in battle. Okay, I think I'm gonna end it here for now. Next time I'll catch up with whoever is over at those other locations. And then I'll continue the story. I imagine something will happen in this festival. And we'll rush out to fight God or whatever happens at the end of this JRPG. Okay. Yeah, I probably shouldn't look ahead too far in the walkthrough. In case I spoil myself. It's relatively spoiler-free, but sometimes you just see something that's like, oh, this character is over here, then this thing probably happened. Oh boy, my back. I'm cracking like that old man in the Bond scene. I need to go downstairs and work out. I was commenting on this earlier, but I'm having a real issue where I just can't motivate myself to go earlier. And I just end up like building it up for the whole day until it's like 11 p.m. or 12 p.m. even. Until I hit a point where it's like, okay, I either do it now or I just don't do it at all today. And that's what actually gets me to work out. I need to do it when I wake up, but I just can't get the energy to wake up an hour earlier and put the effort in. God. Anyway, enough rambling. I'm just ended here. Thanks, Braylons, for hanging out. And anyone else that happens to be watching, hope to see you again next time. We'll be streaming again on Wednesday. And yeah, waking up early sure sucks. Like, every hour I can get, I'll take. Every hour of sleep I can get, I'll take. But yeah, good night, everyone. Thanks for hanging out until the end of the stream. And yeah, bye-bye.